National Football League opens its 63rd season on a very warm summer day before a capacity crowd of 76,000. Hi, everybody. I'm Frank Lieber. The Falcons have already had one big question answered. The condition of running back William Andrews. Injured in preseason. He played in just 5 plays all preseason. Had a knee injury. He tested it out. He told us after working on the artificial turf that he is ready to go. A little tender, though not 100%. With me is John Madden. And with Andrews playing, how does that change the Giants' priorities?
Well, it really doesn't change, Frank, because the Giant coaches knew yesterday that Andrews would play, and they said the 2 things they have to do to stop the Falcons is 1, stop William Andrews, and 2, put a pass rush on Bartkowski, especially early in the game.
Well, the coaches are thinking along the same lines. Lehman Bennett told us yesterday that he's got to have the big play from Bartkowski.
Well, he has to have the big play, but the thing that he's worried about is his offensive line. He said, you know, in preseason, they've had a Jekyll and Hyde type of thing. In Philadelphia, they were very good. Last week against Tampa Bay, they were terrible. He said one of his biggest disappointments is his offensive line. He said today they have to pass protect. You know, we can talk about the offense and the defense, but sometimes these league openers always boil down to special teams. So that could be the big difference today.
And one of the big reasons is that the Atlanta Falcons had 2 kicks, 2 punts blocked by the Giants in their last 2 meetings, and that proved to be the margin of difference. Atlanta winning the toss of the coin, and Joe Danello is ready to kick off. And the National Football League season is underway. It'll be down deep in the end zone as Danello really got into that one by rookie Reggie Brown. Sizing up the Falcons, Andrews, of course, in there, and Alfred Jackson making his first start ever after 5 years playing behind Wallace Francis at a wide receiver position. The Atlanta offensive line has one change. Pat Howell is replacing Dave Scott. That's been a unit that's been together for 5 years, and Howell has now beaten out Scott, at least for the time being. Andrews and Lynn Kane to the setbacks, and Kane gets the call, bounces off a tackle at the line of scrimmage, and is out to the 26-yard line. Pickup of 6 on the play. Tackle made by Beasley Reese coming up from the secondary. There's the Giants' defensive line. They play the front 3, but as you can see, Curtis McGriff is normally in there on first down. Then when they get into a passing situation, George Martin comes in, and Jim Burt is replacing the regular starter, Ed Neal, at the nose tackle. The Giant linebackers, and that's a fine set of linebackers anchored by Lawrence Taylor, and the New York secondary. Same unit which performed well last year. 2nd down 4. Andrews picks up the first down at the 34-yard line. First down of the ball game.
You know what the Falcons did here, Frank? They put in 3 wide receivers. There's only 1 running back in the backfield, and that's Andrews. That's not a bad one. He starts inside to hold those linebackers. They all collapse to the inside, and then he's able to bounce the ball out.
Gary Carson, number 53, the first to reach him, but not before the Falcons pick up the first down. Now they've got Kane on the wing off to the left side, leaving Andrews as the lone setback.
Let's go now.
Triple wing setup to the right side. Bartkowski looking left and instead going right to Jenkins. That's a pickup of 6 as they continue to eat up the yardage on this opening drive.
You know, that's an interesting play, and I think it's a page out of the 49er playbook. You know, Bill Walsh, the thing that he did different with his passing game is he had first down passes that are designed to make 5 or 6 yards that you use in lieu of runs, and that's what the Falcons did just there.
2nd down 4 for the Atlanta Falcons. Temperature officially 85 degrees, but you can bet on an artificial turf it's over 100 right now. Falcons from their own 40-yard line. Lynn Kane driving for another first down as he bounces across the 45 out to the 47. Bill Courier, number 29, teaming with Brian Kelly, number 55, to make the stop.
You know, one of the things that William Andrews was talking about before the game, he said that his knee felt real good in Atlanta on the grass. He said, but he doesn't know how it's going to be on this turf because it tends to grab.
And, of course, there's the conditioning factor. He's played only 5 plays in all of preseason. Giant fans roaring for their team to hold him here. First and 10 at the 46-yard line at Atlanta's end of the field. Kane again breaking a tackle at the line of scrimmage and reaching the 49. Pickup of 3, second down 7. The head coach of the New York Giants, Ray Perkins, just in his 3rd year, leading the club to its first winning season last year since 1972, when they went 9-7. He spent, I guess, what, 2.5 hours with us yesterday?
Yeah, he really is something. You know, he loves football, and he enjoys talking about it, as does Lehman Bennett.
Head coach of the Atlanta Falcons. Falcons are 4-1 in season openers under Bennett. 2nd and 7. Atlanta from its 49. Bartkowski dropped by Andrews at the 50-yard line. Jim Burt, number 64, the nose tackle, zeroed in on Bartkowski, and he just did get it away.
They were trying to run a screen pass to the right, and one of the linemen was George Martin. He came off with the screen, and William Andrews couldn't get to the outside.
Jim Burt, who's from Miami, filling in for Ed Neal at that nose tackle position. He told us yesterday, please don't call me short. He is 6'1".
He's 6'1", and you know that's not bad for a nose tackle because you always teach him stay low, stay low. Heck, he's built low. He was born low.
This is the first 3rd down attempt the Falcons have had in the football game. 3rd and 7 from their 49. Bartkowski. Jenkins couldn't hold it. Wanted the pass interference call as Terry Jackson, number 24, was defending for the Giants. So the Falcons will be forced to punt.
It'll be interesting to see here what the Giants do on this punt return, Frank, because in the last 2 times they've played, they've had a punt block against the Falcons that won both games for them.
And Ray Perkins told us yesterday that he thought maybe he could do something here on the specialty teams again. Dave Smigelski, you saw him, the rookie punter for the Falcons, who replaced the veteran John James. And Leon Bright, who missed all of preseason with an injury, is the deep man.
Giants have 10 men up.
Now we get a whistle prior to the snap, maybe too much time. 30-second clock expired, and that will cost the Falcons 5 yards. You know, Smigelski averaged 46 yards in preseason, but Bennett told us the way he did it had him a little concerned. He did it by hitting 60-yarders and 30-yarders.
That's right, and even some of those 60-yarders, they say, were 2 irons.
That's right.
You know what that means, a 2 iron? You know how it starts out low and just keeps going and going and going?
I've never hit one of those.
Delay of the game. Offense, number 3. 4th down.
So that makes it 4th and 11. Smigelski was obtained in a trade from the Baltimore Colts, and he fumbles this one. Still tries to get the kick away and does, and it's a beautiful kick. Bright backing up to the 9. And Bright is buried at the 11-yard line. A lot of cool under pressure there by Smigelski, who got away a 45-yard punt despite fumbling the snap.
Let's watch this. Now, the Giants have 10 men up. See, now that shakes them up. See, there's 10 men in there coming on a punt block. Now watch the ball. It goes right through Smigelski's hands, but they only had 1 man rushing. You see, and that's the problem. They couldn't put enough pressure on him.
You have the normal rush, and you got a block, right? Got it away cleanly, and the Giants will be going to the offense for the first time this afternoon from their own 11-yard line. No score, 11:07 left in the first period. As the New York Giants offensive backs and receivers, you see Butch Woolfolk, the Giants' #1 draft choice, getting his first starting assignment. And the Giants line, one change in there. Bruce Kimball at right guard has beaten out the veteran J.T. Turner. Scott Bruner at the throttle. Giants 1st and 10 from their 11-yard line. Woolfolk on his first carry officially as a New York Giant in regular season fray. Hurdles out to the 18-yard line for a pickup of 7. Fulton Kuykendall, number 54 in the stop. Falcons, like the Giants, play the 3-man front. Don Smith in the middle. Missed a good portion of preseason with an ankle injury. And the Falcon linebackers 2 years ago, probably the best crew in all of football. And last year they had difficulties, injuries, Williams primarily. And the secondary, no change from last year. That's where they really needed to make some changes, because last year that secondary yielded 30 touchdown passes, the most in the NFC. Second down 3. Straight ahead power by the New York Giants. Perkins still yesterday he's going to have to run on this team, and he's trying to do it. Will Folk.
You know, the interesting thing about trying to run, they had no tight end in on those first 2 plays. They had 3 wide receivers. They had John Missler, number 85, was in, along with the 2 regular wide receivers. Tried to make it look like a passing formation and then run.
Third down, less than a yard. That's Shirk, Gary Shirk, one of the tight ends. Mulledy, the other one in motion. And they didn't get the first down, rather obviously, as Leon Perry tried to dent the left side and was shoved back by Buddy Curry, number 50. As you look at this Giants offense, you got some questions.
Look at this, Frank. You see they get no movement there. We see Joel Williams gets penetration, and then Curry can come right to the outside.
Here's Dave Jennings, first punt of the season, and he hangs it up beautifully. Billy White Shoes Johnson at the 30, 35, 40. Out to the 43-yard line. So the Falcons will come up with good field position after a 49-yard kick by Jennings, who led the NFL in punting just 2 seasons ago. Timeout. 9 minutes, 21 seconds left to play in the opening period at Giants Stadium. Welcome back to
Giants Stadium where the
Falcons have the football and a first down at their 43. That's Bruce Kimball, the Giants offensive lineman. We said he had beaten out J.T. Turner and was making his first start, and he hurt his leg on the first play of the game, and we'll have to check it out for you. Andrews got it tentatively feeling his way along the line of scrimmage. Gets a couple of yards to the 46-yard line.
Let's watch why he was tentatively coming down that line. Now watch number 56. We'll watch him, Lawrence Taylor. He's playing on the tight end. See, he takes Junior Miller. Hold him. Let the ball come to you, Lawrence. And then boom, right to the inside and make the tackle. Good play. That's the way to play at tight end.
He sat out the last preseason game with an ankle injury. Second down, 7. Falcons at their 46-yard line. Bartkowski. Lynn Kane. Across the 50 to the 47-yard line. Was that a good move or some shoddy tackling?
Lynn Kane makes more tacklers miss than any back that I know in this league.
Also a very fine pass receiver. But had a knee injury, and he's had trouble coming back from it for the last year or so. Other scores around the NFL, Kansas City with a field goal on Buffalo. Nick Lowry from 39 yards away. And Cincinnati leading Houston. Kenny Anderson hitting Dan Ross with an 18-yard touchdown pass. Our score, 0-0. 8 minutes left, opening period. 1st and 10. Falcons at the Giant 46. Andrews getting around the left side, and apparently the Falcons feel they have found something on that left side because they're really testing it.
Well, what they're trying to do is usually Lawrence Taylor has always been the weak side linebacker. One, they're only putting one back in the backfield, and they're putting a tight end on Lawrence Taylor so that he has to take on a block on the line of scrimmage. Let's see if we can watch it again. Now we'll see it from the end zone. See now, we see there's only one back in the backfield. He starts to the inside, lets Lawrence Taylor take a step, then he's on the tight end. By the time he gets there, he just outruns him and gets to the outside.
Andrews has averaged 6 yards on his first 3 carries of the day. 2nd and 4. From the Giant 40, it's Kane. And this time stacked up at the line of scrimmage, maybe a yard at most. As the Giants got after him that time, Curtis McGriff, number 76.
Big Curtis McGriff, he's the left end that plays on running downs, and Ray Perkins was saying yesterday that he thinks just playing a run, McGriff is probably the best player they have.
3rd and 3 from the 39-yard line. Philadelphia leading Washington 7-0 in the first period. A 4-yard run by Wilbert Montgomery. Timeout being called by the Falcons here as Bartkowski wants to come over and talk to Lehman Bennett. It'll be a great final right after the Giants and the Falcons on CBS. The climax of 2 great weeks of tennis coverage. 3rd down, 4. Falcons at the Giant 40. Jackson in motion. Andrews stopped at the line of scrimmage. No gain. Jim Burke, number 64 in there. Taylor, number 56, and Harry Carson, number 53. All had a hand in the tackle.
The Giants didn't go for that one. The Falcons, they had the spread formation, only one back in the backfield. They wanted the Giants to play pass defense so they could run a draw in there. They didn't. The Giants all stayed right on the line of scrimmage.
Smigelski in to do the punting. Beasley Reese is deep. Boy, the number of punters cut in the last week of the season and place kickers was something to behold. We've got a whole new set of names to learn this year. People like Rich Carlos and Florian Kemp and Mike Lansford, and of course Smigelski. Not as much pressure this time. Beasley Reese at the 7. Crosses the 10 and stopped just short of the 15-yard line. So New York will put it in play from there with Paul Davis, number 59, coming up to make the stop. Still no score with 6 minutes and 24 seconds left to play in the opening period. Linebacker set up for the Atlanta Falcons, headed by Joel Williams. Bruner calling the signals. Woolfolk got a couple of yards to the 16-yard line. Let's get an NFL Today report. Here's Brent Musburger in New York.
Frank, Wilbert Montgomery has just put the Philadelphia Eagles ahead of the Washington Redskins by a score of 7-0. Look at this, 4 yards. That's a working man's touchdown. Back to you and John in the Meadowlands.
That's a working man, Wilbert Montgomery. Not much question about that. 2nd down, 8. Giants from their 16-yard line. Bruner got the rush on, gets the pass away. Joe Morris. A correction, that's Perry. Over at the 14-yard line, 30 instead of 20. And Buddy Curry coming up quickly along with Kenny Johnson to make the hit. Leon Perry also injured a good portion of preseason and coming back. Giants were 1-3 in preseason. They beat only the Jets. They beat them decisively. Rams on top of Green Bay. In Milwaukee, Wendell Tyler on a 4-yard run, making it 7-0 Los Angeles. And Tampa Bay got a 51-yard field goal from Bill Capice to move out in front of the Minnesota Vikings. Our score still 0-0. 5 minutes left in the opening period. 3rd and 9. From the shotgun, Bruner completes the pass to Larry Heater, but considerably short of the first down at the 16-yard line. You look at this Giant offense, really, though, and on paper, there's no one that scares you to death, does it?
Well, that's the thing. They have to worry about maybe the Giant offensive team, but there's no one person. Of course, last year, that's where Rob Carpenter really helped them, because he was a one thing you had to key on, you had to stop him. And when you have to do that, that opens up a lot of other things.
Billy White chooses Johnson deep, anticipating the punt of Jennings. Giants last year had the 28th and last ranked offense in the NFL. Still, they made the playoffs because they had the great defense. This kick, not as good as the last one, but takes a Giant out. White Shoes picks it up at the 40 and is run out of bounds at midfield. So again, the Falcons come up with excellent field position. With the good bounce, the punt wound up going 41 yards. The counterpunch by Johnson, 11. Timeout once again here at the Meadowlands.
Oh, Edna, the Toyota needs struts, brakes, and a new muffler. And if we can't get the car back by tonight, we can't go to your mother's for dinner. She'll never get all that done in one day.
As the Falcons bring it up to the line of scrimmage, they've had the ball 3 times. Each time their field possession has been better. They've started from their 20, from their 43, and now from their 50. Bartkowski with a bullet. Completes it to Jackson, close to the yardage needed for the first down at the 40-yard line. Alfred Jackson making his first start in the NFL.
I think we're going to see this all day. We see there's just one back in the backfield. Kane is split way out to the left. Bartkowski doesn't look to the left to Kane. Watch, he's looking all the way for Jackson. He sees him there, good pass protection, and he's able to get the first down.
Bartkowski is 3 out of 5 for 22 yards. Second down, less than a yard. Ball is at the Giants' 40. Kane driving forward to the 38-yard line, and that's a first down for Atlanta. Now for another NFL Today update, here's Brent Musburger.
Frank, we have our first controversy of the season. Wendell Tyler of the Rams has been given a touchdown. See if he wasn't stopped before he got to the goal line by the Packers. May have been knocked in by a Green Bay defender. 7-0 Rams. Rams have just recovered a fumble. Back to you in the Meadowlands.
I don't know. Look close to me, John. What do you think?
Looked good to me.
1st and 10. Falcons on the move. They're at the Giant 38-yard line. Andrews still wound up making a yard after it looked like he was about to be thrown for a loss by Gary Jeter, number 7. Take a look at the number 3 defense of the league last year.
See, now watch the left guard. He's going to pull, see? The Giants see it. The linebackers step right up. There's Carson. He fills the hole, and that's what made Andrews cut back. He was going into that hole inside. He saw Harry Carson there, said, I can't go there. I'll go the other side.
Harry has been around a long, long time. Savvy veteran. 2nd down, 8. Falcons have 4 first downs. Giants have none. Bartkowski with a rainbow and overthrows his intended receiver. He had him out there, Alfred Jackson, who's made so many big plays for the Falcons in the past, and Bartkowski simply overthrew him.
And that was the thing that he was looking for, because he had Jackson man for man, and he wanted to get the ball up to it. And Jackson had about 3 steps on the defender.
Alfred played his college football at Texas, where he was a roommate of Earl Campbell. Another update around the league. Buffalo leading Kansas City 7-3. Joe Ferguson hitting Frank Lewis on a 20-yard touchdown pass. 3rd and 7, and the Giant faithful are raising the roof, imploring their guys to hold him. There's Taylor. Nobody touched him.
Just like last year, see, that's the first time they didn't have a tight end on his side. Now watch him. He's going to come from the right side of the screen. Bartkowski doesn't see him. Now he sees him, and it's too late. He's Taylor's arm.
That's a -10.
And a missed blocking assignment. Someone has to block that guy.
Giants are missing something. There's nobody back to receive this punt.
They have 11 men up on the line of scrimmage. They're going for the block.
Here they come after Smigelski. They didn't get it. They have nobody back to receive this punt. Touchback. Well, you don't see that very often.
No, especially in this situation, you know. Let's see if we can see it again here in the telestrator. Now, what the Giants did, they're going for an all-out block. You see, they have 11 men all packed up in here. There's no one deep. They're all coming. They're going to try and hit the gaps, but they get there too late. Let's watch it. They got all 11 players up there, and they're all coming. No safety. No one's back, but no one broke through in the middle, and that's what hurt it.
Giants 1st and 10 from their 20-yard line, trying to get something going offensively, and Bruner completes a pass to John Missler at the 26-yard line. Colton Kuykendall on the tackle, and the Giants pick up 7. 2nd down, 3. Missler normally a backup.
And the reason that he's in there now, Frank, is they're playing with 3 wide receivers and no tight end, and they're still doing it on this down.
Perkins coming wide to the right side. Ernest Gray is split to the left, and that's Missler in motion. Butch Woolfolk, of course, for the first down at the 29-yard line. You know, he played his high school football just down the turnpike here at Westfield, New Jersey. Played his last high school football game in this stadium before going on to become the University of Michigan's all-time leading ground gainer. Cardinals have jumped on New Orleans 7-0. Wayne Morris on a 1-yard touchdown run in the Superdome, and Philadelphia is out in front of the Redskins 10-0 on a Tony Franklin field goal from 44 yards away. 3rd down, less than a yard. Woolfolk. Joel Williams, number 58, stood him straight up. You talk about a clinic for outside linebackers. You've got it in this game.
We're seeing one today. Now the ball starts off to the right. He always stays behind the ball carrier. See, he stays behind him for the cutback. There was nothing on the right side. Woolfolk went to cut back, and there was Joel Williams.
Time is going to run out here in the first quarter before Jennings gets his punt away. There's the gun ending the first period.
See, now they're going to try to run to the right side. Now watch, they start off here, Woolfolk to the right, lead block, there's nothing there. He cuts back, no one blocks Williams. He stays inside and comes in and makes the tackle for no gain.
We're at the end of one period at the Meadowlands with no score. New York offense has gone 1-2-3 kick now for 3 straight series, and Jennings back to punt again. Why is it punters aren't normally very popular?
Because every time they come in, something bad just happened. If they're successful on third down, then they don't come in. Third down, if they don't make the first, the punter comes in. That's why no one likes him.
White chooses the deep man. Jennings may be the best athlete on this Giant team, probably the best athlete among punters in the National Football League. And he gets all of this one. Billy Whiteshoes at the 10-yard line. 15, 20, up the sideline and out of bounds at the 27. And we get a penalty marker. 61 yards on the punt by Dave Jennings and 15 yards on the return. See what the penalty option is here.
It's like it's against the Giants, you know, one of those things blocking, against the Falcons, blocking below the waist. Happens a lot on those punt returns, but it's a good rule. You know, they put that in to reduce the injuries, and on a punt coverage, the return team can't block a cover man below the waist. I bet that's what it was.
There's Chuck Hammerling, the referee. That is officially a 64-yard punt by Jennings. Let's get the call here.
Low block, number 36 on the run back. First down.
That's Bob Glazebrook of the Falcons. So that puts the Falcons in their poorest field position of the ballgame as they start this drive at the 13-yard line. And now listen to the Giant fans as they start the cry of defense. Kane and Andrews, the setbacks. We're looking to see some of Gerald Riggs this afternoon. Kane picking his way through to close to the 20-yard line of the play.
Now, I was talking about Kane earlier, and he always looks like he's down. You think you have him, and then he stumbles, takes one more step, another one, and falls, and gains 5 or 6 yards.
Second down, 3. Kane, of course, understudied Charles White at USC. There's a blocking back. Andrews. Not enough for the first down. Now for an NFL Today report. Let's go to Brett Musburger once again in New York.
Frank and John, the Detroit Lions have struck against Chicago. This is a 5-yard pass from Eric Hipple to tight end David Hill. The important thing is Billy Sims is playing for the Lions and doing a good job. Back to you in the Meadowlands.
Well, it's got to be good news for all the Detroit Lion fans. Third down, a long one for the first down. Each team has failed to pick up third downs. Each team 0 for 3. So we have not had a single third down conversion. Andrews. And it'll be close. The word we get on Bruce Kimball, the Giants offensive lineman, who was injured on the first play of the game, apparently is a broken leg. So that is tough luck for him. He worked hard during training camp, former star up in Canada, beat out the veteran J.T. Turner, and suffered a broken leg on the first play of the very first game of the season.
Right, it was a fracture in his lower left leg, and as you say, he works all training camp, and he was on the injured reserve last year, and he's starting his first game, and then gets it on the very first play. This is a first down. You can tell that the way the pile went backwards. It's what you always want to do on short yardage, is get, see, it wasn't even close. You get the pile going that way. When the piles go back towards the quarterback, it's usually not a first down. When the piles go towards the defense, it usually is a first down. But we got those guys with those markers. They like to run out there every once in a while.
Well, that tells you something about why the Giants offense, I guess, was 28th in the league last year. They started very slowly today. I thought you were going to give me the business about the left foot, right foot spot by the official.
That'll be later.
That's at the really critical time. First and 10. Bartkowski, blitzed by Van Pelt, gets the pass away. Little swing pass, and produces yet another first down as Andrews, who gained over 2,000 yards rushing and receiving last year, 1,300 on the Brown picks up the first, 12 yards.
This is a screen pass. They start in the I formation, you see, and Andrews goes to the left, see, like he's blocking. He sets up. Bartkowski looks to the right. Now he turns out. The linemen come out in front of Andrews right there. You see it there? The two linemen out in front. A good block right there by Howell. Andrews breaks off it. First down. I like that, Andrew. I think he's one of the best backs in the entire National Football League. Do it all.
He held out of training camp for a while, but just couldn't stand to stay away. Came back before the first game. Of course, was injured and missed most of preseason. Again, a blitz. And this time, Bartkowski is dipped from behind, and Van Pelt falls on the ball at the 22.
The Giants ball.
There's your Giants defense again.
And that's the corner. That's Jerry Jackson, number 24. From the left-hand side of the screen. Watch Bartkowski's looking to the right. Here comes Jackson. He doesn't see him, doesn't feel him, knocks the ball right out of his hand. That's the big play that the Giants needed on defense.
Of course, the way the Giants offense have been going, the defense may need to score.
That's right. Let's watch it from the other angle. See, it's still outside the left of the screen. See, Bartkowski didn't even see him or feel him coming.
Back to live action. First down at the 22 of the Falcons. Butch Woolfolk inside the 20 to the 19-yard line. This is the deepest penetration for the Giants so far in this game. No score. Al Richardson, 56, and Don Smith, number 65, on the stop.
And the fans are booing the offense, Frank. I think what they'd like to see is open up a little, especially on first down. They've been very conservative on first down. Got to take a shot. Joe Danello can kick a field goal from here. Take two shots at that end zone. Go ahead.
Second down, 8. Just inside the 20. Bruner over the head of Woolfolk, the intended receiver. Al Richardson, number 56, back there covering for him. Butch, who scored his first Giant touchdown in the last preseason game last weekend against Miami. Here's a look at the Giants' statistical offense in 1981. They did make the playoffs. They're the first team ever to finish last in the league on offense and still make the playoffs.
They'll go to the shotgun on this play and again take another shot at them. So see Bruner back, two back side by side, 3 men on the line of scrimmage.
Third and 8. Bruner had no one and threw it away. And the boos rained down for the Giants offense. Boy, it doesn't take them long in New York, does it? First game of the season, second quarter, they're not even behind yet.
Well, they're in mid-season form, these fans, for that booing. But I'll tell you, they do love their defense here. And you know the other thing they love here? These two kickers. Here's one, Joe Danello, and they also love Dave Jennings.
Danello was 8 out of 10 in preseason and belted a bunch of them home from beyond the 40. Those were his stats from last year. This attempt will be from 36 yards away. He did not get it. Wide to the right.
Maybe they don't love Joe Danello here. I know they don't right now because they're booing him. That's frustrating now for an entire football team. The defense comes up with a big play, the offense can't do anything, and then the kicker misses a field goal.
So we're still scoreless early in the second period.
First and 10, Atlanta's football.
From their 20-yard line after the misfire on the field goal attempt by Joe Danello from 36 yards away. Giants have had very poor field position offensively. They've started from their 11, 15, and 20, and of course blew their golden opportunity a moment ago after Van Pelt recovered the fumble. The only decent field position they've had all day. Andrews over the left side, flying out to the 24-yard line. Jim Burt, 64. Curtis McGriff, number 76, on the stop. William Andrews was the 15th running back selected the year he came out. The number 3 pick, and boy, that's just like finding gold there.
That is, I wonder who the 14 in front of him were. There was probably about 13 mistakes.
Second down, 6. Falcons at their 22-yard line. Just one setback, and that's Andrews. Bartkowski, sideline throw. He's got Jenkins wide open as Jerry Jackson fell down, and Jackson is hurt. Jackson Jackson looked like he slipped trying to make his cut. No one touched him, and he's down and hurting.
But we were talking about this. Now watch Jackson. He's going back here. He's number 24 in his zone. See, he turns to make the turn. It was his left knee gave out, and then Jenkins was right there, caught the ball, turned it up, and got a big play for the Falcons.
That does not look good at all for Terry Jackson. Timeout here at Giant Stadium with 10 minutes, 39 seconds left to play field under his own power, so it looks a little better.
Let's see if we can watch it. Now, this is an artificial turf injury. See, we see Jackson. He's number 24. He's right here. He's backing up. He's backing up. Now, everything's okay. Now, watch when he starts to turn. You see, his right foot gets there. His left foot gets caught in the turf. You see, both feet were caught in the turf there, and the only thing that could give was the joint.
Mike Dennis has replaced him in the secondary. First down, Falcons at their 48. Gerald Riggs making his first appearance in the football game. The Atlanta Falcons' #1 draft choice charges across the 50 and down to the Giant 46-yard line. Now here's a young man with a little bit of pressure on him as you look at Dennis, who came in to replace Jackson. Everybody was clamoring for the Falcons to pick someone on defense in the draft, and they turn around, they got the #2 offense in the league, and they pick a running back.
You know, one of the things that Lehman Bennett said is he wants to use more running backs this year, not put the entire burden on Andrews and Kane.
Riggs got 6 on his first NFL carry. Second down, 4. Riggs it is again. Out of Arizona State. Dropped at the 45-yard line, 2 yards shy of the first down. George Martin, number 75, making the tackle. Cincinnati, 10 points in front of the Houston Oilers now in the second period of that game. A 43-yard field goal by Jim Breach, and Buffalo leading Kansas City by 1. Nick Lowry has just hit a 47-yarder for the Chiefs. Minnesota 7-3 over Tampa Bay. Ricky Young with a 3-yard touchdown run. Total offense been all Atlanta, but it hasn't been really that much on either side.
No scores. That's the big one.
Third down, call it 3. Falcons at the Giant 45, and Bartkowski tripped. Going back. I don't know. Did he hit one of his own men?
No, he didn't. That's the same thing that just happened to Jackson. His foot got caught in the turf, and he just tripped. He's looking down at his shoes. Now watch it. He doesn't hit anyone. Watch this. He just comes out. He just turns out of there. You see, he's free right there. He's coming back, and it just goes right there. I think he just tripped. He may have hit Pat Howell, but I don't think so. Harry Carson's down on the field on that last play.
That's the 3rd sack for the Giants, minus 31 in the statistical board. Another injury for the Giants, which they certainly don't need here. You know, speaking of sacks, John, they're keeping track of them in the official NFL stats for the Atlanta Falcons on 4th and 12. Leon Bright is the deep man for the New York Giants. Still no score. 8 minutes, 40 seconds left. A lot of games being played here. 30-second clock ran out again. All right, let's talk about this snap business. Now, who's it up to? The center, right? He can throw it anytime he wants. He feels everybody's ready.
That's right. They don't have a count because the punter is 15 yards back and they can't communicate. So the punter usually gives a sign that he's ready, and then the center can center it any time after that.
Delay of the game, offense #3, 4th down.
Then they always give the penalty to the poor kicker. It's like the quarterback, you know, with too much time to always give him the penalty, and he didn't do anything.
Eric Sanders is the center on kicking attempts. Punt a little bit short by Smigalski, and out of bounds at the 20-yard line. 38 yards on that kick. And the Giants will put it in play from their 21-yard line.
You know, I've always thought that one of the most important downs is first down. That on first down, you have to make yardage and create good situations for second and third. Neither team is really doing well on first down.
Midway in the second period.
Don't forget NCAA on CBS. First full weekend of regional action upcoming. Next Saturday, got some interesting matchups, John.
You know, the one is that San Jose State versus Stanford. You know, the Stanford quarterback, of course, is John Elway. The San Jose State coach is his father. Father against son.
Boston College, the team that upset Texas A&M, involved. Blitz that time, dumps it off nicely to Joe Morris, and Morris is out to the 25-yard line. Now, this is Morris' first appearance in the game. He is 5'7", and that may be stretching it, and weighs 200 pounds, and he is a rock, the leading ground gainer in Syracuse University history, and that is saying a lot when you consider some of the backs that they produced. There's the Syracuse connection. He gained more grounds in his career than Saka, Little, Davis, and Brown. That is strong. 2nd and 5. Collision between Brunner and Morris, and the Falcons recover. Jeff Burrow, number 75, there to receive the gift, and dives forward to the 13-yard line.
Ray Perkins doesn't like that. That's something, even though it's a first regular season game, they've had plenty of time to practice, plenty of time of training him. This should never happen. Now watch Scott Bruner. He starts to go to the right. Now Morris starts to cut into him like he's trying to go underneath. It looks like Morris was supposed to go outside. Bruner was ready for the outside handoff, and Morris cut right into him.
Butch Wolfolk and Morris were the Giants' top 2 picks, very popular picks. Here the Falcons handed a golden opportunity with a first down at the Giant 13. Andrews, the lone setback. Andrews it is to the 10, to the 5, touchdown. William Andrews, who was questionable up until the pregame workout today, goes 13 yards for the Falcons. First touchdown of the year. 6-0 Atlanta.
There is a running back. Now watch this. Only one back in the backfield. He's going to go off to the right side. Pretty good thing here. Watch, he gets through the hole. Now watch when these 2 tacklers come. Watch this explosion. Boom! He just steps right through him and into the end zone. Boy, does that guy have power. Watch the block here by Junior Miller. He's blocking on Van Pelt. Just gets him off enough so that William Andrews can get inside of him.
Mick Luckhurst will try the extra point. 13-yard drive, 1 play. Andrews now 9 carries for 37 yards. And Luckhurst, who did not miss an extra point all of last year, makes it 52 in a row in his NFL career. Falcons lead it 7-0 with 7:45 left to play in the first half. So the Giants didn't take advantage of their turnover, and the Falcons did, and Atlanta leads 7-0. Luckhurst is ready to kick off. Butch Wolfolk, the deep man in the 3-back formation, will come down to the other side to Mike Dennis. Dennis from the goal line out to the 15, and really cracked right at the 20. Now for an NFL Today report, let's once again go to Brent Musburger in New York.
Frank, I know that John was interested in Burt Jones with the Rams. 5 of his first 9 for 183 yards, and this touchdown pass to Barber put the Rams up 17-0. He's breezing. Back to you fellas in the Meadowlands.
What would the Rams be like without a quarterback controversy?
Oh, they have to have one. They aren't yelling for Vince Ferragamo yet the way Burt Jones is playing today.
First and 10 at the 20. Bruner under pressure. Pass is dropped by Wolfolk. Yeah, we might mention a man who isn't here today, Rob Carpenter.
And I think that's a very important thing, especially when the Giants had that turnover and they got the ball on the 20-yard line. That's when they would have went to work with Carpenter. And you know, they drafted Wolfolk and Morris to go with Carpenter. They have Wolfolk and Morris. They don't have Carpenter. They really don't have a balanced backfield.
You may have seen Rob on the NFL Today saying there's a very small chance he'll be back this year. Involved in a contract dispute in Missouri City, Texas. I'm sure he's looking in today. Holiday with the catch at the 26-yard.
I'm sure that he is looking in. I'm sure that players play football. Remember, they take the spring off. Unless they're in some new league or something.
Third down.
Carpenter will be here.
Well, there's one of those too, you've heard.
Well, that's right.
There's the Giant third down situation has been dismal so far. 3rd and 4 upcoming for New York at their 26-yard line. Falcons got too many people on the field. Bruner gets the pass away to Ernest Gray for the first down at the 33-yard line. No flag. That is the Giants' first down of the ballgame.
play, Frank, Mike Zealy, the backup nose tackle, was coming into the game. When he got there, he found out there was already one there. When he tried to run off, he really didn't get off in time. I'm surprised that wasn't a penalty against the Falcons.
Now the Giants open the season and go 23 and a half minutes of clock time without a first down. They got their first at the 34-yard line. Bruner has it slapped back on him. Big charge that time by Don Smith, the nose tackle, number 65, who came blowing up the middle. Bruner is 6 out of 10 for 28 yards.
Now that wasn't Bruner's fault.
Obviously. There's Jeff Rutledge, the new Giant quarterback, picked up in a trade with the Rams last Sunday. They say they gave a fifth for him. They don't say, but it's been said they gave a fifth for him, which could go as high as a fourth, depending on how much he plays. He is now the backup with Sims out for the season with a knee injury. 2nd and 10.
We'll see Smith. You see he starts out here, and then we go right there, and Woolfolk went where Smith left from.
Back to live action now with a first down. Giants at their 49. Bruner hitting Melody at the 44-yard line. The Falcons enter the field, good for 7. The Giants offense finally has opened up a little bit, shown some signs of life in this drive.
I think what they have to do is throw more on first down. You know, create these types of situations. See, it's fun to play when you're 2nd and 4.
Joe Theismann has hit Art Monk in a 5-yard touchdown pass. So Washington is on the scoreboard with Philadelphia. 2nd down, 4. Giants at the 45-yard line of the Falcons. Bruner getting it to Graves, one-on-one with Johnson. Johnson juked around long enough, enabling the pursuit to come over and help, but not before the Giants get another first down at the 37.
You were right, and he allowed Buddy Curry to get out there. We see the Falcons were in a blitz. See Kuykendall coming in there. Richardson from the outside. Now right here, turn the ball upfield. Get it upfield. Don't let that pursuit come and get you. See, by the time Johnson held him off, look who makes the tackle right there. Number 50, Buddy Curry, an inside linebacker.
Giants on the move, and this drive which started back at their 20. They trail 7-0. First down at the Falcon 33. Bruner fakes into the middle to Woolfolk and goes long for Gray. Touchdown! John, you sure that's the same offense we saw earlier in the game on that drive?
That's right, and they just opened up. And watch this. This is it's a post pattern. You see a little play fake here to the right. Bruner's looking at Ernest Gray here to the left. He runs a post right up over. Now the big thing here is, of course, he beat Kenny Johnson, and he got behind the weak safety.
Danilo ties it at 7. 80-play drive by the New York Giants. 80-yard drive in 8 plays. And Gray scores the touchdown, and we're tied at 7 with 4 minutes left to play in the first half.
In a land torn by conflict, Jacqueline Bisset is the woman who has never known war. Ben Gazzara, Richard Roundtree, and Toshiro Mifune are the men who have never known anything else. And Sir Laurence Olivier is General Douglas MacArthur, who guided their destinies to a place called Incheon, rated PG. Starts Friday. Check newspapers for a theater near you.
You called about a copier.
I don't have much space.
You need a DC-121 plain paper copier. Fits anywhere.
I need lots of different copies.
The DC-121's small, but it's fast.
But
don't have much money.
No other copier gives you all these features at the same low price. And when you buy a Mita copier, you get your own personal Mita man or woman.
Thank Mita for small favors.
Mita, full-service copiers.
Joe Danello is ready to kick off for the New York Giants. And there's the book on the Giants scoring drive. Bruner with a 33-yard bullet to Ernest Gray. On that possession, Bruner was 5 out of 6 for 65 yards. High kick and very short. Reggie Brown at the 15, 25, and up to the 27-yard line. Looked like a 9-iron shot. More CBS action next weekend, and a big doubleheader coming your way. The key game. Most parts of the country will see the Dallas Cowboys play the Cardinals. That's been a great series down there.
It has been a great series. You know, we did that game last year in St. Louis, and St. Louis upset Dallas.
It's always 2 points or 3 points, no matter where it's being played. Where are you going to be, John?
I'm going to be right there. San Francisco 49ers, the world champions, versus the Denver Broncos, who may be the surprise team in the NFL this year.
By the way, the fans in the New York area will see the entire doubleheader, both ends, which is a little bit unusual. I'm sure they're looking forward to that. Bartkowski wants to get it right back. Comes out throwing it. Alfred Jackson making the catch and going out of bounds in front of Mike Dennis at the 36-yard line. Should be just about enough for the first down.
Jackson ran a nice pattern on that. He drove Dennis deep. Dennis started to turn like he was going up, and then Jackson broke it off to the sideline.
Jackson playing at Texas didn't see the pass come his way that much.
You know, Bartkowski, that last pass we just saw, that out pattern, that deep out, he probably throws that better than anyone in the game right now.
Steve, Pro Bowler the last 2 years, and one of the premier passers in football. 1st and 10. Riggs. Gerald Riggs drives up to the 38-yard line. Now, Bartkowski was drafted in 1975, was the first player picked in the draft that year. Chicago and Detroit are knotted at 7. In the second period, 2-yard run by Matsui, tying that score. Don't forget, coming up at halftime, the whole game is back with scores and highlights. 2nd down, 8. Our score, 7-7. Falcons and the Giants on a warm, late summer day here at Giant Stadium. Falcons at their 38-yard line. One running back, that's William Andrews. Andrews out to the 41-yard line. Brian Kelly, number 55, making the stop. 39 yards and 10 carries for Andrews.
You know, watch Andrews. You know, he really has all his power comes from down low. Let's watch Brian Kelly here. He's starting to pursue, takes on the guard, and then gets into Andrews with help from Van Pelt.
Brian is now the senior statesman among the Giant linebackers.
He's also the quarterback of that defense. He's the one that calls the defenses in the huddle.
3rd down, 5. Falcons at their 41. Again, a blitz. Bartkowski trying to go long down the sidelines, and Jackson fields it for the first down at the 30-yard line. The fact that it was underthrown helped him.
There's a penalty on that play, but watch it here. It's just the old jump ball play. Dennis is step for step with Jackson. Jackson sees it. They're both there. Dennis slips a little. Jackson gets up and gets that ball.
But there was a penalty marker, and they'll bring it back. 36-yard gain wiped out, and yardage to be stepped off against the Atlanta Falcons. Are they working on Dennis a little bit since he's replacing Jackson?
Well, you know, they did on that play. The other play, the out to Jackson, that was on Mark Haynes.
Offense, number 31, 3rd down.
William Andrews, the running back of the hold.
Excuse me, Chuck, but you know, I was talking to the referee there for a second. But
I know you know my name.
You know, sometimes, you know, we give credit to the wrong guy, but that first out was on Mark Haynes, and then that last one was on Dennis. So it's been one on Haynes and one on Dennis.
3rd down, 15. Giants haven't been penalized. Atlanta 4 times now for 35 yards. Bartkowski, sideline throw to Jackson. Looked like about the same play, a little shorter.
That was. Now they may be working on Dennis, you know, 2 in a row, but I'll tell you, works back. It's not a great pattern, but again, he just beat him right at the end with a little quickness.
And you saw the first down marker. The Falcons picked up the first down at their 48-yard line. We're down to the 2-minute warning here in the first half, with the score tied at 7. Falcons with a first down at their 48-yard line. Bartkowski's got it warmed up now, 4 in a row, 7 out of 10 for 86 yards. Jackson to the right side, Jenkins to the left. Gerald Riggs. Got a couple as he took it to the 50-yard line.
Yeah, we were talking to Lehman Bennett last night, Frank, and he said one thing they want to do this year offensively is get the ball more to their tight end, Junior Miller. We haven't seen it yet. Maybe on this drive.
That's a good point. 2nd down 8. Hurry up offense now. 2-minute offense for the Atlanta Falcons. Well, they went for Miller, and it looked like it hit Ryan Kelly right in the face mask. Brian's not used to him coming at him like that.
Let's see if we could watch that. That ball really did zip. It didn't look like Junior Miller was ready yet. Watch, he'll come from the right of your screen, coming across. Now there's Kelly. You see, he threw it right over the umpire, and Miller didn't get his hands up. Kelly didn't get his hands up. Ball looked like it hit them both. I think the umpire was between the quarterback and the receiver.
That's a good point. 3rd down 8. Falcons from the 50-yard line with a minute and a half left in the first half. Gerald Riggs on the receiving end of that pass for the 45. And looks like he's a little bit short of the yardage needed for the first down at the 43.
This will be an interesting decision. It is short. It'll be 4th down. Whether they'll go for it or punt with a minute 11 seconds left, I think the Giants could help them by taking time out. That would probably force them to punt. Looks like Atlanta's going to let the clock run down as much as they can and go for it on 4th down.
Falcons have 2 timeouts left. The Giants have all 3 of theirs. 4th down, less than a yard for the first down at the Giant 43. Cruz and Riggs behind Bartkowski. Bartkowski was working for an offside call, but it didn't work out. And it looked like the 30-second clock finally ran down on him.
That's what he was trying to do. He was trying to use the time so they take some off from the Giants. They go in the huddle. They call no play. They say no play. Then he gets up in the line of scrimmage, starts yelling out, bobbing his head, hoping the Giants will jump off sides. They didn't fall for it. Now the clock stops, and they'll punt.
Now let's see what the Giants punt rush does this time. They're going to leave somebody back. They rushed 11 earlier. No one back. Smigelski in to do the punting, but they went after him. Smigelski did a little swan dive, but the officials didn't buy it. Leon Bright at the 20, 30, 35. Bright almost to the 40. Good run back. 30 seconds left in the half. 3 timeouts for the Giants. 32 yards on the punt return.
Let's watch Smigelski now here. He's not watching those rushes. He didn't even get touched, but he does a nice job. Look, he's learned that like a real veteran. You go down, spin around, bang your head. The referee didn't buy that one. I bet the Giants wish that they had used timeout on that last down, on that 4th down. Now they have good field position here, but time is very important, or of the essence, as they say.
That's what they say.
Time is of the essence.
You want to grade Smigelski on his acting ability? Give him an A-.
B+.
B+. 1st and 10. Giants at their 40. Shotgun. Broder. Wide open. Heater. Larry Heater at the 50. And reaches forward to the 49. And now the Giants call time with 21 seconds left in the half. Well, they got time to get close enough to kick one.
Well, that's what, to get in Joe Dinello's range, they need about 15 to 18 yards. So that can be 2 short pass receptions like we just saw, or it can be 1 long one. That's the first thing. First thing you think of is get in field goal range. Then after you get that, then you go for the end zone.
Dinello has kicked him as long as 55 yards in his career, and he's really one of the better long-range field goal kickers in the league.
And he's upset now because he missed that gimme early. You know, those things don't happen. We were talking to him yesterday, and he said, I love to kick in this stadium now in September. It's beautiful. He said around October, November, it'd be nice to be indoors.
Of course, the wind doesn't normally bother the kickers that much because the Giant Stadium is completely enclosed.
Yeah, but it does some funny things in here, though, Frank. Sometimes because it is enclosed, when it gets in, it goes around in circles.
Who has hit 6 of his last 7 pass attempts, 10 out of 14 for the game. Leading the Giants. Up to the line of scrimmage, 1st and 10, Falcon 48, Bruner. Completes the pass at the 31-yard line to Perkins, but we've got a penalty marker back at the line of scrimmage. Holding, New York.
That'll be holding against the Giants.
Is the Giants' first penalty of the game.
Looks like it was whoever was blocking Jeff Merrill there. It was probably Jeff Weston, the left tackle of the Giants, because Merrill was held just before Bruner threw the ball. But it was still a great catch.
It really was. Let's take a look at it again.
You know, it won't
Hold down. Offense. Number 68. First down.
Let's just watch the catch here again. I'll tell you, it really is something. It won't go into statistics. It won't make any highlights. But watch how high he gets up in the air. Concentration, catches that ball.
17-yard gain wiped out, and of course field goal range for Danilo. As now they're moved back to the 41-yard line. The penalty was on Turner, and now the Giants are going to run it out. That'll do it. As far as the first half goes, with the score tied at 7 apiece. Took a little while to warm up in the first quarter, like a couple of boxers, but in the second quarter,
you know, you usually do that when you have a good defensive team. I think that's what the Giants were thinking. It's probably what Atlanta was thinking, that we don't want to give anything. We have great defense. Let the defense do it early until we get straightened out. I would think in the second half, we're going to see a lot more passing.
Well, we didn't know what to expect, really, coming into this game in view of Atlanta's preseason record. The only thing predictable about them was their unpredictability. I mean, their inconsistency.
And that, you know, was last year too. They were 7-9 last year. They had a great year the year before. You know, people had picked them to be in the playoffs, even the Super Bowl, and they had a disappointing season last year. They went to training camp and had a disappointing training camp in that they were Jekyll and Hyde or inconsistent. Now, I think the Giants maybe found out in this first half that they need Rob Carpenter. Their passing looks good. They're running not much.
Score tied at 7 at halftime. We'll be back shortly. Welcome back to Giant Stadium. We're at halftime with the Atlanta Falcons and the New York Giants tied at 7 apiece. Very important game, really, for both teams, John Madden.
It is, you know, and you always like to get off to a good start. I think it's probably more important for Atlanta because they don't know if they're as good as they were 2 years ago or as bad as they were last year. They don't know if they were as good in preseason as they were against Philadelphia or as bad as they were against Tampa.
You know, 2 years ago, Falcons were 12-4, and they had that playoff game. They came so close to winning against Dallas, lost it, and I don't know if it had an after effect on them last year, but they wind up going 7-9, and there's some real big questions.
Well, of course, they had some injuries. You know, Joel Williams was to the Atlanta Falcon team what Lawrence Taylor was to the Giants last year. They lost him for all intent and purposes for the whole year. They lost the end that plays next to him, Jeff Merrill. They're both back. They're both healthy now, and on offense, you know, they may have the best offensive players in the National Football League. I've always been high in Atlanta.
Bartkowski started very slow back in '75, but long about '78, those 2 big wins over Atlanta, the Big Ben play, Bart kind of turned it around, and he's been magnificent the last 3 years, and of course has been in the Pro Bowl the last 2 years.
Well, you know, he can do the one thing better than anyone. The one thing that we've seen here at the end of the half is throw that deep out pattern, and that takes a real rifle. You're back there, and you're throwing it 20 yards deep and to the outside, and he can really zip that in. He's a special quarterback.
Right now, let's go to Brent Musburger in New York.
Welcome back to our news desk in New York. I'm Brent Musburger along with Irv Cross. And Irv, you were paying attention to number 20 of Detroit, Billy Sims, and his return.
Watched him very closely, Brent. He's not in tip-top shape yet. You can tell that because normally I saw plays where he would run right through a defender because he has great explosion in his legs, kind of just stumble through the hole. He's not ready yet.
You made an observation that Dick Vermeil and the Eagles have changed their offense this year?
They want to be a little more explosive. They're throwing the ball more on first down, short, quick patterns to those wide receivers. So hopefully that'll open up that offense.
All right, Irv. Let's get everybody up to date on the scores. Perhaps they have not caught them as this afternoon unfolds. The Los Angeles Rams, of course, are walking all over the Green Bay Packers. 20-0 is the score of that game. They are playing it in Milwaukee, and this could be a very troubled year for Bart Starr. How's Bert Jones doing? Magnificently in his first performance as a Ram. Here he is going to Wendell Tyler. Now, Tyler is going to cough the ball up. There's no football when he crosses the plane there, but the Rams recovered, and on the very next play, many of you saw this highlight during the Giant-Atlanta game, Wendell Tyler, and he's credited with a touchdown on that second effort. And then it was the Jones pass to Barber. This gave him 5 of 9 for 83 yards with this completion right here. And he's just running it up against the Green Bay Packers. 20-0 again is the count there. Chicago and Detroit, as Irv reported, Billy Sims returned. The Lions got on the board first, and then the Bears rebounded. And yes, there was a solidarity handshake at the Pontiac Silverdome, and then the fans said, welcome back number 20. And folks, that didn't look like much, but it was a very big first down. And then the touchdown. Hipple smacked in this play. Incomplete. Avellini is down. He had to be taken off the field, and Mike Ditka had to make a choice, and instead of going to Jim McMahon, Vince Evans is now in the game for Chicago, and again they are tied at 7 in the second half. Minnesota and Tampa Bay, 7-3, but I really think the storyline there should be the Buccaneers. Bill Capice has kicked a 51-yard field goal, and you know how bad the Buccaneers kicking game has been in the past. That, of course, the new indoor home of the Vikes, who went right away on the attack. A little razzle-dazzle here. Ahmad Rashad took it from Sammy White. He didn't gain much after the lateral, but it's kind of fun to look at. Ricky Young then popped in on that next sequence, gave him the touchdown. The extra point by Dan Meyer was good. 7-3 now is the count of that game at the half. Cincinnati, of course, the winners of the AFC a year ago, they lead Houston 10-0 at the half, and Earl Campbell, 8 carries for 28 yards in the first half. Washington and Philadelphia, interesting. The Eagles jumped out, 10-point lead, and then back come the Washington Redskins. Joe Theismann now has thrown for a couple of touchdowns in that game, and it is 14-10. The Skins are over the Eagles. St. Louis and New Orleans, and the Cardinals strike on a 1-yard run by Wayne Morris in that game, and so they lead the Saints by 7. Irv tells me the Saints have been very sluggish in that game, incidentally. Buffalo now and Kansas City over in the AFC, and the Bills lead 7-6 on a 20-yard pass from Ferguson to Frank Lewis in that contest. New England and Baltimore, of course, they still start at 2 o'clock on the East Coast because of the blue laws in that city. They are scoreless still in the first quarter down in Baltimore. Atlanta and the Giants, the game you're watching, 7-7 is the score there. And, of course, as many of you know, right after the football game, you're going to be going out to Flushing Meadow for the championship of the U.S. Open. Yvonne Lindell and Jimmy Connors. We'll have a preview right after these messages from your local stations.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Honda. On a drive with engineering, quality, and value, Honda, we make it simple. IBM.
Welcome back once again to Giant Stadium, and you had to see him, didn't you, to believe it? Sandy Grossman is alive and well, and somewhere in the bowels of Giant Stadium.
They really do have trucks, and they really do have people in those trucks. You know, a lot of the time people thought that there wasn't anyone out there.
Just voices from beyond. Mick Luckhurst will kick off to start the second half. Mick is getting married November 23rd again with a young lady who is an LPGA Tour golfer. In fact, they're in Dallas this week, Terry Moody. And we certainly wish them well. Leon Bright is deep. Bright at the goal line. 10-15. And a penalty marker as he's dropped at the 17-yard line.
He didn't see that one coming. Just someone came flying down from across that field, but It'll probably be a penalty against the Giants, usually on kick returns, kickoff and punt returns. It's usually one of those blocking from behind, either a clip or just an illegal block.
Now we won't guess. We'll let Chuck Eberling, the referee.
I already guessed. What do you mean we won't guess?
Well, I won't guess. You guess. You're right.
I will. It's against the Giants.
See if you're right, John.
Personal foul. Clipping. Number 56 on the return. First down.
You've been down to the sideline too long.
That's an educated guess. You know when you see him, you know the play, and you know who it was against, though, don't you? That was against Lawrence Taylor. Most first-round draft choices and all-star players don't play an awful lot on special teams, and Lawrence Taylor is really an exception.
Giants again saddled with poor field position as they start this opening drive of the second half on their 9-yard line. Butch Woolfolk out to the 13, maybe the 14-yard line. Let's briefly review the halftime statistics for you. See if there's anything that really jumps out on you. Actually pretty close in some areas and not so close in others, like first downs and rushing yardage.
Well, that's the thing that jumps out at me, the lack of first downs by the Giants and the rushing yardage. And again, you know, I hate to belabor a point, but Rob Carpenter is a holdout, and I think everyone knows or feels that they could use that man.
Time of possession significant in favor of the Atlanta Falcons. Bruner handing off to Woolfolk. And Butch stopped after a gain of no more than a yard at the 14-yard line. They're looking at third down and 4 upcoming right now.
You know, I was saying at halftime that I think we're going to see more passing this half, but this first possession, you get the ball out, and then you get a penalty, and you get the poor field position. When you have a good defense, I think they just want to stay conservative, get a punt, and then let their defense play.
Third down, 4. Nose of the football just inside the Giants' 15-yard line. Perkins in motion. Brunner. Wide open. Perkins over the middle, 20, 25. First down at the 26-yard line. Oh, there was nobody around him.
The one thing about Scott Bruner is he's tall. You know, he's 6'5", and we can watch him from behind. Now watch him as he gets up here. You see, he can see over linemen. You see where his head is, and you see where the other heads are. He can see over that. He can find open guys in the middle. You see, Perkins is there. Now, a lot of times, a guy will be open in the middle, but the quarterback can't see him. You see him up, over, looking and throwing down.
Giants first down at their 26-yard line. Woolfolk in motion. Bruner's hit 7 of his last 8 passes. Wide open. Mulliday, first down at the Falcon 45. Boy, they're finding big holes in that Falcon secondary.
Big holes in the zone. You know, they probably found something, talked about it at halftime, and let's see if we can see it. Let's watch it on the chalkboard. Now, here's Mulliday, the tight end. Now, it's going to be a zone, and he comes right up and works right in the hole of the zone. Let's watch it here.
Somehow he got lost in that crowd.
Well, right there, if we can freeze it there, see, we can see here's the zone, here's a man here, here, and he's there.
Back to live action, first and 10 from the 45, intended for Ernest Gray. And defending on him was Kenny Johnson. No interference, say the officials, bringing down the wrath of this Giants Stadium crowd. Giants finally got their offense cranked up. In case you joined us late, they didn't have a first down until there were 6.5 minutes left in the first half. You know, their new offensive coordinator is Ron Earhart. For a while, it looked like he brought the New England offense with him.
One thing, if they're going to crank it up offensively, they have to do it the way they're doing it now, and that's Bruner getting back and throwing the ball.
Second and 10. That snaps a string of 6 completions in a row for Bruner. Scott back to throw it again. And Ernest Gray, but threw it behind him. It'll be third and 10.
I think that was Ernest Gray's fault. When you're running a pattern like that and you're in the middle, you have to come under control. It looked like Gray kept going, and Bruner thought he was going to stop, so it went behind him a little. You should get up in that zone, find the seam, and work back towards the quarterback.
Third and 10. Giants at the Falcon 45. Score tied at 7 here in the third period. Johnny Perkins in motion. Bruner over the middle, hitting Perkins close to a first down at the 36-yard line.
This will be an interesting call. It is short. It won't be a first down, but I've always felt on third down you have to throw that ball up beyond the sticks. See, now watch, it's a little pick play, and we see Perkins coming underneath. He catches the ball there. Now watch, there's one defender, two, three, four defenders, not enough to get the first down, so they have to punt.
You know, yesterday, Ray Perkins disagreed with you on that about having a guy go beyond the sticks.
I know it. Well, they're not going to punt. They're going to go for a long field goal. We'll have to look for a fake here, but I still think I was right. Third down, you got to throw it up beyond.
53-yard attempt by Danilo. It is, hit the upright, the crossbar, and bounces back into the end zone. No good. Another 6 inches. It did not quite have enough legs, and so the score remains tied with 11:15 left to play in the third period.
When I was looking for a small computer, I went to IBM because they know what a small, big company needs. I wanted data, word processing, and some word data processing. And they showed me a small computer to fit our budget. IBM even had a place to learn how to use it. That impressed me. Us. And my good business sense even impressed my girlfriend, Charlotte.
IBM. Introducing another engineering wonder, the new 1982 Honda Accord. It handles better, and to use less energy, we've increased the gas mileage. We've improved the aerodynamics and made it quieter inside. We've also made it roomier. Any wonder the new Accord is so well engineered? After all, it's a Honda.
Honda, we make it simple.
Well, talk about a game of inches. Joe Danilo, who has kicked him as long as 55 in his career with that 53-yarder, falling inches short, hitting the crossbar, and bounding back in the end zone. And now the Falcons come out of it. Pretty good field position here since the ball is brought back to the line of scrimmage, which is the 36-yard line. 1st and 10. First offensive possession of the second half, and bombs away for Bartkowski down the sideline, and incomplete, intended for Jenkins. Pass interference. A flag is down.
Now that's Jenkins against Terry Jackson. Remember, Terry Jackson was injured in the first half. He's back. He's running stride for stride. There's a bump. You see the left arm, just a little bump. That trip at the end shouldn't count. Oh, nope, they didn't call it.
They may call it the other way. Let's see, or else they're going to take back the flag. Because now the Falcons look to be hopping mad.
I think they ought to take back the flag because it didn't look like anything on that replay. Maybe the official thought that trip at the end should have been interference, but that happened after the ball was passed. See, they're having a little conference down there.
That's normally when another one saw it a different way, isn't it?
It usually is. When one called it, the other one saw it later. I like to see that. Because at least they talk it over and they say, hey, we made a mistake, we're sorry, rather than keeping it and making an excuse.
There is no foul on the play. The ball could not have been caught.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. You see, right here, see the ball is gone now, see? What the official saw was right here at the end when Jenkins trips, right there. You see, when Jackson stepped on Jenkins's foot, but the ball was already passed, so they said, well, we can't do that.
Well, it is good to see Jackson back on the field after that knee injury in the first half on the artificial turf. That ball, by the way, by Bartkowski traveled 60 yards in the air. He has got a cannon.
He does have a cannon. I think we just saw Jackson on the sideline. I don't know if he was injured or maybe just that long run may have tired him out because Mike Dennis is back in there at the right corner now.
2nd down. Atlanta from its 36-yard line. Riggs. Brian Kelly over to make the stop on Gerald Riggs, the #1 draft pick of the Falcons, at the 39-yard line. You know, Brian Kelly went to school at Cal Lutheran out in Thousand Oaks, California. At one time, worked for the Dallas Cowboys in their training camp. I remember going out there. He used to pick me up at the airport, take me out to camp. And he was at school there for 4 years, training right under the Cowboys' nose. Giants picked him as a 15th-round choice, and he's been in there forever. New England and Baltimore knotted in the second quarter. 3rd down, 7. Falcons at their 38-yard line. Giants faking the blitz. Taylor coming on, but is blocked out effectively, but Kane can't hang on to the football. Lawrence Taylor was coming that time from the right side, but the Falcons did a good job holding him out. So the Giant defense is held, and Smigelski comes in to do the punting.
Smigelski, that'd be a good name for a linebacker. At middle linebacker, Smigelski. Smigelski at the bottom of the pile. Not a punter. Bad name for a punter. Good name, middle linebacker.
Leon Bright. Back deep for the Giants. Bright at the 20, 25. Out of bounds at the 27-yard line, and a marker is down. 40 yards on the punt, 7 on the return. Holding against the Giants.
Of course, that'll be marked off from the point where the ball was 10 yards deeper. Had the holding occurred before the punt, that would have been a first down for Atlanta.
As it is, the Giants wind up where they're used to, and that's poor field position in this game. Back on the 11.
Penalties in the kicking game.
Holding number 28 on a post possession. Foul will be on the receiving team. They will keep the ball. First down.
Beasley Reese guilty of the holding call. Ray Perkins looking on, former star receiver for the Baltimore Colts, assistant with the Patriots in San Diego before coming to the Giants 3 years ago and really turning this program around.
Welcome to Miller Time. It's all yours and it's all mine. Bring your thirsty self right here. You've got the time, we've got the beer for what you have in mind. Welcome to Miller Time, yours and mine.
The best beer for the best time of the day, Miller High Life.
No other wagon gets better mileage around town than the Honda Civic wagon. Well, with one exception.
Honda, we make it simple.
Sunday night on CBS means great television. 60 Minutes gets it going, that it's Archie Bunker's place. Jefferson's One Day at a Time, and Trapper John M.D. All tonight on CBS. Giants with the poor field position again. Their first 2 possessions in this half at the 9, and now they're starting at the 11. Big hole up the middle for Leon Perry, and Perry running hard. Carries it to the 25-yard line. Leon suffered an ankle injury before the Jets game, so he's just now coming back 15 yards on the pickup. And getting up slowly after being belted very hard. He limps off. That may be that ankle again.
Let's watch it again. Here's one thing you can do against a 3-man line is a cutback. Look, he starts his way, gets the defense to pursue, and then cut back against the grain. See, that's what they do. The whole line is down there. They're pursuing. They over-pursue, and he cuts back.
Cliff Chapman, number 31, comes in to replace him. He was on the injured list last year. Fake to Wolfelt, but Werner, a lot of time. Gets the pass away and misses. Can't quite reach it. Strong defense that time by Joel Williams. Number 58, as Perry tries to get it worked out on the sidelines. Williams, a rather amazing story. Nobody wanted him when he came out of school at Wisconsin lacrosse. He asked his coach to call Don Shula and give him a tryout. Dolphins took a look at him, kept him till late in preseason, then released him, and the Falcons picked him up 2 days later, 2 years ago. He had 16 sacks. Injured last year, most of last season. Lehman Bennett. 7-7. Falcons and the Giants. 2nd and 10. New York. From their 26. Bruner again finding a hole over the middle, hitting John Missler at the 31-yard line. Pick up a 5, maybe 6 yards on the play. Falcon defense swarm all over you. Minnesota, top of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 14-3 and a 22-yard touchdown pass from Tommy Kramer to Sammy White. And Cincinnati comfortably in front of Houston. In the third period of that game, Ken Anderson with a 2-yard run. That's the way the two quarterbacks have shaped up so far. Bruner with a late start, getting the best of it at this point. 3rd down 5. Giants from their 33. Bruner again going over the middle, this time to Ernest Gray. 1st down at the 48-yard line. Giants have obviously detected a soft spot in the Atlanta defense over the middle.
You know, one thing we haven't mentioned here, and I'd like to point it out, these 5 guys right here have been doing an excellent job of pass protection. We're going to see Atlanta run a stunt. It's a little cross. He comes here. This guy goes here. They just pick it up, give Bruner plenty of time to throw. Let's just watch it here. But all day, the Atlanta Falcons have not had a sack. You see that little move there? Boom, they pick it up. Look at that protection right there. Bruner can step back, and he has time.
Gray now with 4 catches for 67 yards. Bruner hit as he threw the football. Gray trying to come back. They say he was out of bounds. Incomplete. The official, the back judge, Al Jury, was right on it.
It was a great catch by Gray. It was another one of those things that it's a great catch that won't count because they say he's out of bounds. Watch Bruner. Again, it's a stunt. He's getting hit from behind just as he throws the ball, takes a little off, comes back, has the ball.
Boy, that's borderline, I'll tell you.
I'll tell you, let's watch it from this shot. Now, again, it's both feet have to be in, but the knee does too. You see, he has both feet in, and the knee hits out.
But if you're forced out of bounds, that's a factor too. 2nd and 10. Bruner under pressure. Johnny Perkins, 40. Down to the 30. Perkins loses the football. It rolls out of bounds, and the Giants will retain possession of the ball because nobody had a handle on it.
Let's see if we can watch that. That's Perkins. He's on number 23, Bobby Butler, man-to-man. Now watch what Butler goes for the interception. He jumps in front of him. Perkins gets the ball, and he's off to the races. Now put it under control. Put the ball away, Johnny. He doesn't. He had it hanging out there. He gets hit. Now there's a scramble. Look, there's a blue jersey. There's a white jersey. That doesn't work. A blue, a white, a blue, a white. No one has the ball. Where is it? Out of bounds. So it'll still be the Giants' ball.
Keep in mind, it is not last touch. It is last possession. So it's a 1st down at the 42-yard line of the Giants, and Lehman Bennett looking on a little concerned right now.
I wonder how much Perkins lost by that fumble.
Probably 10 yards. Turned out they just had enough to pick up the 1st down. Eagles and the Redskins, tight one, 3rd period. Philadelphia leading 20-14. Wilbert Montgomery with another short touchdown run. Butch Wolfel to the 40-yard line for a pickup of 2. It'll be 2nd down, and let's call it 9. You know, the Falcons at times play what you might consider a flex-type defense, don't they?
They do. They'll flex or put one of their defensive ends off the line of scrimmage. It's the same thing as Dallas does with their 4-man line. The Falcons do it with their 3-man line, and they're the only team that does it with a 3-man line.
2nd and 9. Giants at the Atlanta 40-yard line. Ernest Gray in motion, maximum blitz. Bruner just fires it up, and it is caught. at the 15-yard line, and a penalty marker goes down as Perkins made the catch. Interference will be the call against Atlanta. The Giants will have a first down at the 13. Bobby Butler was back there. Looked like Butler lost the ball.
I know it did. It was another one of those jump ball things. As you said, there was an all-out blitz. Everyone came. Bruner knew he had to get rid of the ball, just threw it up in the air. But I don't know if Perkins was ever down.
He didn't think so. He got up and sprinted into the end zone.
It looked like the official may have been calling interference, but Perkins caught the ball.
They'll spot it at the 13.
Pass interference. Defense. First down.
Let's just watch the end of the play here. See, now it's a jump ball. It's Butler and Perkins. Perkins gets his hands up, comes up.
Back to live action. The pitch to Wolfelt. Puts around the left end. 10-5. Out of bounds at the 3. Another penalty marker. 10-yard pickup for Wolfelt. But a marker was thrown behind the offensive line. And that's usually the holding indication. And there it is, against the Giants.
And when that guy from the sideline calls it, it's usually holding against the left tackle, too, because that's his key. He looks down the line into that tackle.
Someone we need to mention in this telecast, because I know all of his New York Giant teammates want to be remembered to him.
Holding. Offense. Number 67. First down.
And that person is Doug Coder, the Giant running back who is in a hospital nearby, who is undoubtedly watching this football game. And I want Doug to know that he's not only got 76,000 people here, but millions more watching, rooting for him, more than ever rooted for him in his career.
As you said, all the players wanted to say hello. The coaches wish their best, the fans, and everyone anywhere that knows what Doug Coder is.
First and 20 on the delay to Wolfelt. He's down to the 20-yard line. So a pickup of just 3 yards on the play. Wolfelt with 11 carries for 41 yards thus far. He was the 6th running back picked in the draft, and the Giants had to sweat out 17 picks before it was their turn. The first running back they picked number 1 since Rocky Thompson in 1971.
I didn't think they wanted a running back in the draft. I thought they were going to go for a speed wide receiver. I know that's what they were talking about last year at the end of the season.
2nd and 17 from the 20. To get to the 3 for the first down. Gray! Touchdown!
They aren't booing anymore, Frank. They like him now. They like the offense now. They like Scott Bruner. They like Ernest Gray.
Big day for Gray. He's caught 2 now.
I know it. Now watch Bruner here. He looks to the left. He backs out. He sees Gray in there. Pumps it right in, over 2 and in front of 1. Gray makes the catch, turns it into the end zone.
Bobby Butler missed the tackle on him. Extra point is good by Dinello.
Watch the isolate here on Ernie Gray. You see he's running a post pattern. He comes downfield, looks into the post. The ball's right there. Butler doesn't wrap his arm. Gray spins right out of it in the end zone.
So the Giants take the lead for the first time in the ball game. 14-7, midway in the 3rd quarter.
Watch this demonstration of how the tough new size Ford Ranger can conquer mountains. This new small pickup gets this high gas mileage and carries this payload. Ranger's husky new truck engine can haul this mighty load up this grade, 2 times steeper than Mount Washington, or even this nasty grade, 4 times Pikes Peak. However, this super steep angle, even Ranger won't try. This is Mount Everest.
Save hundreds during Ford's factory-authorized clearance sale.
When Mattel Electronics asked me to tell you about Intellivision, I was delighted. But now they've got this $50 rebate. Well, I don't think you should buy an Intellivision because of a rebate. I think you should buy one because it's a marvelous system. A rebate commercial? I won't do it.
But we will. Get a $50 rebate after you buy an Intellivision master component.
The irrepressible Jimmy Connors meets the man who stopped John McEnroe, Yvonne Lendl. The men's final of the U.S. Open Tennis Championships on CBS Sports next.
Giants with the lead at 14-7, and Joe Danello is ready to kick off. Reggie Brown, a rookie, back deep for the Atlanta Falcons. Fine 89-yard drive, highlighted by Brunner's throwing and Gray's catching. Brown hit at the 10, up to the 17-yard line, and took a couple of pretty good shots before he was finally down by Mike Mayock, number 39. Again next week on CBS, doubleheader action highlighted by the game between the Dallas Cowboys and the St. Louis Cardinals. And the second half of the Twin Bill, the San Francisco 49ers and the Denver Broncos. You don't get to Mile High Stadium very much, do you?
No, not much. You know, and the 49ers don't either. And their training camp, they've really had a lot of problems. A lot of injuries this offseason or this season, preseason, for the 49ers.
Well, the momentum seems to have shifted now in favor of the Giants since their offense has finally come alive. William Andrews stopped short of the 20-yard line. Jim Burt, number 64, into the stop.
We haven't watched Lawrence Taylor lately, but look, see, he's on the tight end now. He's on Junior Miller. You see, and that's happening more and more this year. He used to be the weak side. Now he's playing more the strong side. Keep him covered so that he can't blitz. But he still makes the plays, even though you put a tight end on him, Frank.
He's an incredible football player. Second down, 7. Bartkowski hitting Andrews for short yardage at the 23-yard line. You know, even Perkins, when he told us yesterday, he thought that Taylor is the best player in the league. And I thought, well, maybe defensive. He's the best player in the league. He's only in his second year.
Well, you know, probably if you look at it like a guy that did more for a team than anyone else, I think I could see how he could say that. That Lawrence Taylor, I mean, he did an awful lot for this Giant team last year. But a guy who's not playing, Bill Neal did too, a nose tackle.
Absolutely. Third down and a long 2 for the first down. Falcons from their 24-yard line trying to keep this drive going. Gerald Riggs on the sweep, and Riggs drives through very close to the first down at the 27-yard line. The Falcons have been outgained here in the third quarter, 144 yards to 15. Pretty good edge there.
That's one of the things about Scott Brunner as a quarterback. He'll never be one of those guys who throws for 60, 65%. The reason being, he doesn't throw a lot of those little dump-off passes. He throws the ball up the field.
First down it is for the Atlanta Falcons at their 27-yard line. Last year, Brunner only hit 40% on the year, but he led his team to 5 victories in the last 7 games. Alfred Jackson on the receiving end of that throw from Bartkowski, and that'll be close to another Atlanta first down at the 38-yard line.
Giants look like they're trying to get to Bartkowski now. They brought a safety on a blitz on that time. Bartkowski read it and threw that slant to Jackson right where the strong safety left from.
These teams are throwing so many blitzes at each other in this game that it's hard to keep up.
You know, I think that's one thing that, you know, last week Tampa Bay blitzed very successfully against the Falcons. So Bartkowski told us last night he thought he'd see a lot of it because they didn't pick him up last week.
There's that game Bartkowski told us yesterday. It sure didn't do much for building momentum for the start of the regular season when you get blown away 34-0 in your last preseason game. Bartkowski is 10 out of 16 for 108 yards. And Jackson has been his favorite target. By the way, Alfred Jenkins has caught 2 passes, so he has extended his string. He's now caught passes in 90 consecutive games. 2 first downs in this drive now for the Falcons. First and 10 at their own 38. Andrews. Pickup of a yard to the 39. Perhaps he reached the 40-yard line. Gary Jeter, number 70, on the stop.
There's the defense. They're talking there. And what they're talking about now is that they have to work on the passing. They probably came into the game, they were thinking about the run, but they can play the run. They can handle the run, but they have to concentrate more on the pass. They need a pass rush, and they need better coverage.
Second down 9. Falcons from their 40-yard line. Trailing 14-7 with 2.5 minutes remaining in the third period. Season opener for both teams at Giants Stadium on a very warm afternoon. Steve Bartkowski. Over the head of the intended receiver, Alfred Jackson. Now for an NFL Today report. Once again, let's go to Brent Musburger in New York.
Frank, the offensive player of the day, Wilbert Montgomery of the Eagles. He has scored 3 touchdowns, including this one on a little slip screen. 42 yards from Ron Jaworski. Wilbert's total yardage on the day, 147 yards. Back to you and John in the Meadowlands.
Those Eagles just better keep Montgomery healthy, that's all.
That's a good day's work, isn't it? 147 yards. Woo.
Third down 9. Falcons at their 40, trying to keep this drive going. One setback, that's Andrews. Sideline throw intended for Jenkins and picked off by Mark Haynes. Giants ball at the 47-yard line. However, there's a penalty marker back at the line of scrimmage. Holding against Atlanta. It'll be declined.
You know, earlier, Mark Haynes has gotten beat on that deep out. This time, he looked like he was waiting for it. See, they have the 4 linemen in. That's their pass rush offense. They have 5 defensive backs. They're running a stunt. Look, Bartkowski couldn't step up, couldn't follow through, took a little off. Haynes had the interception.
The holding call on Warren Bryant obviously declined. The Giants want the football, and they've got it. 1st and 10 at their 47-yard line with a lot of momentum going their way right now.
Nice car. Thanks.
There's a new Toyota that's been getting a lot of notice lately.
Nice car.
The new Toyota Celica.
Nice car.
A Celica that carries on the sporty Celica line in space-age fashion with wind tunnel sculptured lines and 5-speed overdrive, a 2.4-liter propulsion system. All the stuff that makes Celica the right stuff.
Nice car.
Celica.
The great American pastime, washing the car. You love to keep it clean on the outside. Prestone worries about the inside, about rust building up inside your radiator. If you don't change your antifreeze when you should, you wouldn't believe the rust and corrosion that could be there. See how bad it can get after you put just 10,000 miles on weak, neglected antifreeze? See the Prestone difference? Don't wait. Put in fresh Prestone now. Deep inside, trust Prestone.
Terry Jackson of the Giants continuing to have problems with that knee, back out of it. Doesn't look like he's coming back anytime soon now.
I'm sure he won't be back the rest of the day. He injured it, you know, when his foot got caught in the turf in the first half, came back in the second half. Remember that deep up? He looked like he just stretched it or strained it on that play.
1st and 10 for the Giants, who look superb here in the second half of play. Bruner again goes over the middle. Missler on the receiving end at the 46-yard line. They are killing the Falcons right over the middle. And Bruner, you're talking about percentage passes. He's now 19 out of 27.
You know, still the thing that impresses me is this pass protection. Now watch Ernie Hughes. He's the center. Watch the guard. It's J.T. Turner. Billy Ard. They free that middle up so that Bruner can 1 see and 2 step ahead. Now watch him. There's 61, Hughes. He's battling in there. The guards, the tackles battling. Good hands up there. Keep him on the line of scrimmage so you can step up. I love it.
2nd and 3. Wolfo bounces outside and has the first down at the Falcons' 38-yard line. Atlanta has not sacked Bruner today. Butch Wolfo, mighty fine debut in a New York Giant uniform. 12 carries for 50 yards thus far.
You know, being an old lineman, sometimes I like to, you know, show those guys, watch it, you know, because that's where it all starts. If you don't get protection, you aren't going to do anything. I hate that word skill position. They're all skilled. Those linemen, if they aren't skilled, then those ends and quarterbacks don't get anything.
1st and 10 at the 38-yard line of the Atlanta Falcons. Giants leading 14-7. They're on the march again. Blitz is on, but Bruner dumps it off very nicely to Wolfo. Down to the 30, 25. Butch Wolfo hit from behind, but has a first down at the 21. 17 yards, and Bruner is They're picking them apart right now.
Look at those fans. They said, I knew we could do it. I knew we'd get them. I knew the offense would get this job.
They were booing in the first end of the first quarter, start of the second.
Well, they had... Let's just watch it on a replay, and we'll watch the screen here. You see, he fakes both backs going that way, hits the second back out there. He gets open field, and the tackling of the Falcons isn't what Lehman Bennett would like on that one.
Perry and Woolfolk, the setbacks behind Bruner. First down at the Falcon 22. Bruner's had all the time in the world. Hits Melody at the 15. Pickup of 7. It'll be 2nd and 3. As the Giants continue to rip through, and now they're getting a standing ovation from this crowd.
This roomy, inexpensive Subaru station wagon not only goes far on a gallon of gas, it also goes almost anywhere on a gallon of gas, thanks to front-wheel drive. But if you want more traction than our wagon with front-wheel drive, we suggest our wagon with on-demand four-wheel drive. Subaru, inexpensive, and built to stay that way.
Used to good friend.
Do you guys realize this is our 4th summer place together?
Remember that old beach house we had?
How about the time you two almost set the woods on fire?
Okay, who's ready for a Lowenbrow?
When you want the taste of a truly great American beer, tonight, let it be Lowenbrow.
You know, I think we finally got this down to an art.
Let it be Lowenbrow.
Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Subaru, inexpensive and built to stay that way. Lowenbrow, when it's time for the taste of a truly great beer, let it be Lowenbrow. And by Honda Motorcycles, inventors of the Honda ATC, the off-road three-wheelers.
Bruner back on the field after a short talk with Ray Perkins as we head into the final period of play now. Giants with a 2nd and 3. I don't know what Perkins could have told him except keep it up.
Do it again.
Atlanta only had the ball for 4.5 minutes in the 3rd period. Giants have really dominated since intermission. 2nd and 3 from the 14-yard line of Atlanta, and then loses a snap. Who got it? Bruner trying to pull away, lost the snap, and the Falcons have recovered.
Well, that was a big play here. The Falcons get it. Now watch it. Bruner starts to pull out. He doesn't have the ball with him. Hughes was firing out. It's around there, and a Falcon ends up with it. I'll tell you, that was a big, big play because with a score of 14-7, had the Giants gotten another 7 in there, their defense is too good.
We'll return to Giants Stadium after this word from your local station.
Next Saturday on CBS Sports. Timely Rider heads the field at the Marlboro Cup next Saturday on CBS Sports. This is CBS.
Go! Stop bouncing, go! Let me see that. It's gold, ain't it? Rich! Hey, hold it! This calls for something special. Come on, buy me a new pair of living boots. Stroh's beer. Stroh's beer! Not so loud. Howdy. You say Stroh's beer? See what I mean? From one beer lover to another Stroh.
As my broker, George, I thought you ought to know. I made an investment without you. Through C&S Bank. The money asset account. Earns money market rates. Oh. I can get money out anytime I need it. And I earn money market rates on all the money I invest. Fourth. Try bending your knees, George.
The Money Asset Account. The benefits of a money market fund. The convenience of your local bank. Only from C&S.
Meet George, a lovable fat cat on the Jeffersons. Tomorrow at 5:30 on TV 12.
Go ahead. Let's watch what, you know, it's a combination of the center going forward and the quarterback going back. See, Hughes fires out to get the nose tackle. Bruner steps back, and the ball stays in the middle.
As you said, had the Giants been able to push that score across, with the momentum they had going, I think it would have been awful tough for the Falcons to come back. Bartkowski, 10 out of 18 for 108 yards, has had one picked off. Keep in mind, they're just down by 7, one big play. And they're back in it, and they are a big play team. Andrews on the delay, out across the 20 to the 23-yard line. Well, if that knee is bothering him, it certainly doesn't look at it. Like 53 yards now rushing on 13 carries for William Andrews, the most valuable player of the Falcons last year, and a young man that many say is really the best pure fullback in pro football.
I sure like him because he does it all. He runs, he blocks, he catches the ball, he does it all.
Picked up 9, second down, 1. First down as Gerald Riggs pops through over the right side. They did 1, they got 5.
You know, this is the first time that Gerald Riggs, you know, this game is the first time that Gerald Riggs and William Andrews have played together in the same backfield. They didn't do that in the preseason, and I think that's one of the directions that they'd like to go more and more. Look at Cincinnati. Whoop, they're back like last year.
They were just playing possum in preseason. Bartkowski. Good protection. Flag thrown downfield. As the pass intended for Andrews, he had Brian Kelly trailing him. Incomplete. Defensive holding against the Giants.
That'll be an automatic first down for the Falcons. And one thing, the Giants don't want to give the Falcons any breaks here because you say they are explosive. They can do things.
Holding, defense, number 10, first down.
Brad Van Pelt, the veteran Giant linebacker, guilty of the defensive holding. And it's first down for the Falcons at their 34. Bartkowski over the middle. Junior Miller, the tight end, lost the ball. Picked up by Beasley Reese. 40, 45. Reese to midfield. A marker down back on the line of scrimmage. Another flag down.
Bartkowski's thinking, what do you have to do? You know, it was a great throw, a great catch. Miller was running up to the...
Illegal motion against the Falcons declined. Giants will take the football at the 50.
Let's watch that again. He gets past the line here. He starts off here, and he'll get past on the left-hand side of the screen. He'll get past the linebacker in front of the safety. Now, he has the ball in his right hand. Now, watch Van Pelt came up from behind. He didn't see him, and he punched the ball out with his right hand.
Great tackle by Van Pelt, setting up the fumble. And Beasley Reese returning it to the 50. Giants, first down.
It takes 2 wheels to have some fun, and you need 2 more to get the job done. But what can you do with 3? Just try the Honda ATC.
11 years ago, Honda invented the ATC three-wheeler. And ever since, folks have been inventing new ways to use it.
Follow the leader, he's on a Honda.
Thanks to a remarkable new data communication system, at the touch of a button, a broker anywhere in the country can now get not only stock quotes, but financial statements and business news reports. Even customer portfolios.
Gee.
No, GTE.
Welcome back to Giants Stadium. Giants with the ball at the 50-yard line on the run back of the interception a moment ago, John.
Watch what happens when an interception, an offensive player, 78, Mike Ken, has to turn to defense. take on a block, stay low, take on another one, take on another one. So I'm not supposed to get blocked. I'm supposed to do the blocking.
First and 10 Giants. Woelfel somehow got away from the grasp of several tacklers behind the line of scrimmage. Got back to the line of scrimmage and maybe a yard, but looked for sure like he was going to be done for good-sized loss. Richardson, 56 on the stop. There's the statistical comparison. It was all Atlanta in the first quarter and a half, and since then, the Giants have really turned it around, and mainly through the air.
That's right, 249 yards passing. That is through the air. Look at that, 2 new coaches, 10 to 10, staying even.
Bruner is now 21 out of 29 for 249 yards. Second and 8. Bruner back to throw it again. Wide open is Mulledy. Out of bounds at the 17. First down. 30 yards.
Atlanta has their 5 defensive backs in there. That's number 23, Butler. He's up man-to-man on Mulledy. Mulledy starts inside, holds him a little, and then runs a corner pattern. Good route.
7 passes in a row, 7 completions now for Bruner, and he's got him a first down at the 18-yard line. They're knocking on the door again. Gray wide to the left side. Perkins set in the slot inside of it. Woelfel to the 14 for a pickup of 4. I've got to believe that the Falcons have got some severe problems in their secondary.
Well, you know, Bobby Butler's been having a tough time. He's been beaten when he's been on the corner. Then they go to 5 defensive backs or 6 defensive backs, and he plays on the tight end, and he's been beaten there. It's been a long day for that young man.
He was their number 1 draft choice a year ago and started all 16 games. Second and 6. Giants at the Falcon 14-yard line. Is out of bounds at the 5. A penalty marker went down as it appeared that Don Smith, the nose tackle, jumped.
That's my other pet peeve. I don't know how the nose tackle, when he lines up over the center, can jump offside. Because the thing you always teach those defensive linemen is watch the ball. And it's easy to watch it if you're right on top of it.
Those nose tackles and centers get along about as well as Detroit and Japan.
Well, they're so close to each other. Watch. Here we see the ball. Now, there's Smith right there. You see he lines up right on the ball. The ball hasn't moved down, so you don't move. But he was going to a stunt move. You see to his left gap, and he just started a little early.
Offside, defense, number 63, second down.
Well, we gave it to Smith, and I think we were wrong because on that particular play, Mike Seeley, number 63, was in there.
It was still the nose tackle.
It was still the nose tackle. Bruner with some unbelievable stats. Second down, 1 from the 9. Barry trying to jump over the pile.
I don't know, the whistle hasn't blown.
I don't think so. There's no whistle. Glazebrook picked up the fumble and is going all the way for what will be a touchdown. Unless something happened here. Let's see.
Well, the referee back there didn't blow the whistle. He didn't stop that play. That's a touchdown.
It is a touchdown for Atlanta. 92 yards on the fumble and the pickup by Bob Glazebrook, number 36. Everybody relaxed, and all of a sudden Glazebrook came out. He didn't hear a whistle, so he took off, and Ray Perkins says, I can't believe this.
There was no one chasing him. The only one there was the referee. The referee didn't say anything, and Glazebrook ran all the way. Let's watch it from this high angle. You see he steps in there. The ball comes squirting out. It's underneath right there. Glazebrook picks it up. You see there's no whistle. There's no official waving their arms right by the referee, and the only person that sees him and chases him is Scott Bruner, and quarterbacks don't catch defensive backs.
So twice in this game, the Giants look like they're about to put it away, and twice they are rebuffed, this time on a critical turnover. Luckers has it blocked on him as he tries to tie it up.
still lead by 1.
That's a big, big play. Anytime you miss or have an extra point block, it always comes back to haunt you. Now watch it. It comes right there. It looks like it was Lawrence Taylor. He came from the right side, penetrated, threw his right arm up, and got a piece of it with his right hand. Great players make big plays when they're needed.
Well, they call him Superman, among other things. And when he has that football uniform on, I think he feels like Superman. He certainly plays like it. 1 point difference between the Giants and the Falcons with 11 minutes and 36 seconds left in the game.
You can get a Subaru hatchback with either front-wheel drive or on-demand four-wheel drive. Either way, the most important drive they put you on is in economy drive, with low sticker prices and the kind of mileage that lets you feed your family instead of your car. Subaru, inexpensive and built to stay that way.
Once you put motor on a can, you can't see it, you can't feel it, you can't watch it work. So how do you know how good it is?
At Quaker State, we put it in writing. We back up our quality with a lifetime guarantee.
How do you know how good Quaker State is? We guarantee every new car engine against oil-related failure for as long as you own your car. We put it in writing.
We're working to keep your car staying on the road.
How do you know how good Quaker State is? We put it in writing. No one else does.
Next Sunday on CBS Sports, a big doubleheader of NFL action. Dallas at St. Louis, San Francisco at Denver, plus other regional action. Next Sunday on CBS Sports.
We're going to see Leon Bright's fumble here now, the big touchdown play, and we'll see that the ball did come out before he hit the ground. Now watch, he starts into the middle here. There's a big pile. There's the ball right there, and see it coming out. There it is, right there. Right there, Bob Glazebrook picked it up and ran it all the way back.
Glazebrook returning that fumble 91 yards is the longest fumble return in Atlanta history. The previous record, 74, set by Jim Weatherford back in 1969. Giants have fumbled in their last 2 possessions. Giants needing a big play at this particular point. Didn't get it there. Mike Dennis returning it. Shy of the 20-yard line. Again, doubleheader time on CBS next Sunday afternoon, highlighted by the battle at Bush Memorial Stadium between the Cowboys and the Cardinals.
And that's always a battle. You know, and anytime you have O.J. Anderson on your team, he's a guy that can have the type of day that Wilbert Montgomery had today.
Talk about young upcoming quarterbacks, Neil Lomax certainly. And the second half of the twin bill, the 49ers, the defending world champions, and the Denver Broncos. 49ers got a lot of injuries.
And how about the Bronco quarterback? Is he a young upcoming quarterback?
Yes, Mr. Morton.
That's the opposite of a young upcoming.
First and 10, Giants at their 16-yard line. Scott Bruner going to try to do it all over again. Hits Mulliday over the middle at the 25. It has got to be a little discouraging now. The Giants have driven deep twice, and twice they have fumbled, and once, of course, it's cost them a touchdown.
I know it, but you know, the big play is we look at the miscues here. Look, they had a fumble, the Falcons got a touchdown. They had another fumble, and then the Falcons fumble, then the third fumble, touchdown. So 3 fumbles resulted in 2 Falcon touchdowns.
Turnover is the name of the game, and that's been the case here at Giants Stadium today. Second down. Less than a yard needed for the first down. Butch Wolford caught behind the line of scrimmage and spun down for a loss. At the 21-yard line, Joel Williams, number 58, breezed through there.
You know, earlier, Frank, we talked about how important special teams are, and in these early games, every season, it seems like special teams will win or lose some games. I think we have to remember that that blocked extra point by Lawrence Taylor may turn out to be the biggest play in this entire 60-minute football game.
It's been the difference so far, 1 point separating these 2 teams as Cincinnati continues to pour it on Houston. That game now in the 4th period. Third down, 5. From there, 21, pressure on Bruner, but he gets it away. Leon Perry can't hold it. Glazebrook defending. And the Giants will have to punt. That's about the first time this half that the Falcons have stopped the Giants, but the case of the Giants stopping themselves.
I haven't remembered Dave Jennings in the game for about an hour and a half. Watch here. You see, he gets pressure up the middle. He did get rid of the ball because he's so tall and he can see. Throw over pressure. There's Jennings. He could have left. Went out to lunch.
Takes something to lead the league this week after that kind of number being put on the board by Jennings, averaging better than 51 yards a punt on his 3 kicks. Another beauty. Billy White Shoes Johnson fading back to his 20. Gets a block to the 25, to the 30. White Shoes almost broke it. Brings it back to the 34-yard line. 58 yards on the kick. So his average will go up a little more. 14 on the counter punch by White Shoes. Giants leading the Falcons by 1. We've got 9:46 left to play in the game. Back at Giant Stadium in just a moment.
RCA Video Disc. First, we opened your eyes to great entertainment. Now, we're going to open your ears to stereo sound. Introducing RCA's Stereo Video Disc Player, letting you enjoy great stereo entertainment and movies on your TV tonight. Basic players start at $2.99, stereo higher. RCA's Stereo Video Disc. It'll open your eyes and your ears.
Buy the player now and get 2 video discs free, direct from RCA.
Coming up shortly, the climax of 2 great weeks of tennis. Men's final in the U.S. Open. Jimmy Connors, and wouldn't it be sweet to win another one?
Right, he already has 3. That would give him 4, and my buddy Pat Summerall tells me Jimmy Connors is going to win his 4.
And of course, the rare double, which he achieved once before, winning at Wimbledon and the U.S. Open in the same year. First and 10. Bartkowski for Junior Miller. He can't reach it.
Steve is a little upset there with himself. He knew that he had what he wanted. You know, he had Junior Miller down the middle on a deep pattern, and he had him on single coverage, man-to-man, and he just threw it a little more. But that's what you're looking for.
There's the quarterback comparison. And Bruner continues to have much the better of it in the throwing department, as he has just picked apart the Atlanta Falcons this afternoon. Again, keep in mind the Giants didn't even have the first down till 6.5 minutes were remaining in the first half. 2nd and 10 from the 34. Riggs is the man in motion. Andrews lost his balance at the line of scrimmage. Plowed forward for 3 or 4. Taking it out to the 38-yard line.
You know, looking at those stats on Bruner, you know who has to be a happy man today is Scott Bruner's dad. Because, you know, of course, the job that Scott Bruner's doing, but he's also the offensive backfield coach of the Detroit Lions, and he got Billy Sims back. So you have your son having a big day in one day, and you get Billy Sims back. That's like Christmas.
Hasn't been a bad week for him. 3rd down 6. Again, a big play, and the Giants faking blitz. Let's see if they're faking. Flag goes down, and again, the Falcons will be penalized for delay of game. They may have confused Bartkowski a little. They had 11 people on the line of scrimmage again, John.
That was that all-out blitz. You know, that comes from the New England Patriots.
Offense, number 10.
That was their big thing years ago. The defensive coordinator of the Giants is Bill Parcells. And he's had a lot to do with this Giant defensive success. And he used to work with the Patriots. And that was a big thing that they did years ago. 11 men.
Number 10, offense, 3rd down.
11 men up on the line, and you bring some and then drop some off.
7 penalties against Atlanta for 48 yards. Giants have been penalized 5 times for 43. Of course, they've had problems in the past. As that graphic will tell you, 3rd down and 11 for the Falcons at their 33. That's Floyd Hodge to the 35, to the 38-yard line. He's an extra wide receiver we haven't seen much of, but he's had a good camp and a good preseason. Did not pick up enough for the first down. So Smigelski will come in to do the punting. 8 minutes, 48 seconds left to play in the game. Leon Bright of the Giants will be the deep man. Smigelski, brand new punter for the Falcons. So not bad figures on Bright. Anytime you get your return figures in double numbers, you're doing all right. 10 men on the line of scrimmage. Looks like a track meet. Lining up waiting for the jump. Bright at the 15. Barber at the 15. Danced around a while. Was tackled at the 15. 45 yards on the punt by Smigelski. And the Giants continue to cling to that precarious lead. The margin of a blocked extra point, 14-13.
Time. When you ship air cargo, time really is money. That's why Flying Tigers makes you this 100% on-time guarantee. No matter what you have to ship, we'll pick it up, fly it, and deliver it virtually anywhere in the country on time, or you don't pay. Flying Tigers. It's on time, or it's on us.
Flying Tigers.
Bob and Sandy Davis needed 2 incomes to afford the home they wanted. Then tragedy struck. Allstate update. Joint mortgage protection. Sandy died before the mortgage was paid. Allstate Life's joint mortgage protection could have helped pay off their mortgage if either of them died for less than the price of 2 policies. But the Davises didn't have it. If you both work, talk to an Allstate agent. For life, home, and auto, put yourself in good hands.
The irrepressible Jimmy Connors meets the man who stopped John McEnroe, Yvonne Lendl. The men's final of the U.S. Open Tennis Championships on CBS Sports next.
Leon Bright was a little unhappy during that punt return, and well, the officials don't get them all, do they?
No, there's 7 of them out there. Watch number 52, Lyman White here. Leon Bright's return. Watch that, the right hand right there. He grabs the face mask. Bright knocks him off with his left hand. Then he claimed he complained to the official about it, but it didn't do any good. They missed that one.
No penalty called, and the Giants have a first down at their 15-yard line. Butch Wilford hanging on to that ball for dear life as he crossed the 20-yard line. 2 costly fumbles on 2 Giant possessions here.
Look at that. The Green Bay Packers are coming back. Only 2 points down to the Rams. Field goal would put them up.
Lynn Dickey is at Lofton on a 15-yard touchdown pass. Eddie Lee Ivory has run for a touchdown. Vikings in front of Tampa Bay, 14-3. Our score, 14-13. The Giants leading the Falcons. Scott Bruner. Mullity is out of field day. Lost the ball, but they say he was down at the 30-yard line, and that should be enough for the first down.
You know, one thing, the Giants have had fumbles today, but this Atlanta defense is a swarming defense. You know, anytime anyone catches a ball or runs with a ball, they get a lot of those white jerseys around it, and they make things happen. You know, they pop that ball out of there a lot.
Tom Mullity originally came into the NFL with the Buffalo Bills. He was a 7th-round draft choice. He's now in his 4th year. Came to the Giants as a free agent after being released. He's had a great afternoon. Bruner airing it out for Gray, this time too long. Scott Bruner, so we get an update for you on the Minnesota-Tampa Bay game. Buccaneers draw close. Doug Williams hitting Jimmy Giles in a 20-yard touchdown. Bruner played his college football at Delaware, not far from here, and the man he played behind for a couple of years was Jeff Kumlow, who was released by the Lions and picked up this week by the Falcons, by the Atlanta Falcons. He's one of their backup quarterbacks.
You know, the Falcons have to lead the league in one thing, guys named Jeff. They got a lot of guys. You know that? Jeff Yates, Jeff Merrow, Jeff Van Note. They picked up Jeff Kumlow. That's a lot of Jeffs on one team.
2nd down and 10. Wolford. Man in motion. Bruner cranks it up again, and this one's almost picked off by Joel Williams. Williams is in the area, so is Fulton Kuykendall, number 54.
Kuykendall is one of those inside linebackers. You don't talk a lot, but he's always in the right place at the right time. And he's big. You know, he's 6'5". You see, and it's hard to get the ball over his head. Watch him there. Boom, he gets that left hand up. See, linebackers aren't used to catching the ball. Good hands, you get both hands up together. Kuykendall got the left hand up, and the right hand came about 10 minutes later.
Scott Bruner has now thrown for almost 300 yards. 297 is the figure. It's the best day of his career passing-wise. Can't find the snap on the shotgun, and winds up beating the football back at the 22-yard line. That's another interesting discussion we had yesterday about the shotgun with these various coaches, and is it a good offense or not? Lehman Bennett says no.
He didn't like it, and maybe because of that reason, the thing that we're going to watch right here. See, the quarterback can't watch the ball and look downfield at the same time. So if they look downfield, they take their eyes off the ball. If they watch the ball, then it's late. It looked like Bruner was trying to look downfield, and he got a low snap and didn't get his hands down there.
Dave Jennings to do his number, and his average just keeps going up each punt. And the 30-second clock run down to 2 seconds before the ball was snapped. Billy Johnson at the 25. White shoes buried at that point. Good coverage by the Giants specialty team. 51 yards on the punt. How many times you boot them 51 and your average goes down? This telecast is presented by authority of the National Football League. It's intended for the private use of our audience, and any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the New York Giants and the National Football League is prohibited. 6 minutes and 20 seconds remaining.
You know, the thing that was impressive about that punt coverage, the first guy down there was Lawrence Taylor. And when he gets his paycheck, he earns it.
Redskins now in front of the Eagles by 1 point, 28-27. He has the pass tipped over the middle. Bill Tabor, number 80, I believe, got his hands up.
That's one thing. You know, on a rush, you don't always have to sack the quarterback. What you want to do is push. Here's Tabor. He's coming in from the right side. Right there. No. That wasn't Tabor. It was the shortest guy in the defensive line. Well, that's Tabor. He's coming in, number 80. You see they're double teaming. I got him. Keep him there. And then Jim Burt gets his hand up and knocks it down. 6'1".
Can't call him short anymore. Andrews on the carry to the 29-yard line. Well, the Falcons are going to have to do it against the third-ranked defense in the league. This is where the Giants usually come to the fore. Packers have moved out in front of the L.A. Rams. The Rams were way out in front of that game.
And the Packers just scored 2 touchdowns in 17 seconds. That's getting work done pretty quickly.
Dickey hitting James Lofton and then hitting his tight end, Paul Kaufman. And they're probably going wild in Milwaukee right about now. Third down.
And they're booing in Anaheim.
That's right. 6 needed for the first down for the Falcons. For Junior Miller, and he can't reach it. He had him by a step and just overthrew it.
Junior Miller drew a crowd that time. The last time he had 1-on-1. That time he had 3-on-1.
We got a flag. Penalty marker, and we'll check on it in just a moment. Right now, let's go to Brent Musburger in New York.
And Frank, here is that story you just reported. It's unbelievable. The Packers trailed the Rams by 23 at the half. Dickey has struck for 3 touchdowns. That's the one to Paul Kaufman. The Rams fumbled the kickoff return just moments before it. That keyed it. Back to you in the Meadowlands.
Okay, Brent, we'll follow the progress of that game as well as this one, which is getting a little tight right now. Penalty marker down on that play.
Ineligible receiver, number 80, downfield on offense. He was covered up in a formation, declined. 4th down.
Covered up means that the flanker, the guy who was outside of him, instead of being back off the line in the backfield, was up on the line of scrimmage, which made him ineligible.
Pass incomplete. The Giants declined it. 4th down. 10 men up on the line of scrimmage again for the Giants as Smigelski kicks it away. Leon Bright fades to his 15. 20. Trying to get to the sideline. And up to the 25-yard line before being driven out of bounds. 56 on that punt for Smigelski. And 11 yards on the return.
I tell you, the Giants and the Falcons are really testing their defense in the second half with a 14-13 game. Neither offense is doing much, and the defense has to keep stopping the other ones. And both defenses are doing a great job here today.
As you watch Bartkowski here talking things over on the sideline with his teammates, keep in mind doubleheader action on CBS next Sunday. The first game, the Cowboys and the Cardinals will go to most of the country. Depending on where you happen to be, you could see Philadelphia and Cleveland, or the Saints in Chicago, and then just about everybody will see Game 2, the San Francisco 49ers against the Denver Broncos, and even the folks in New York will get that one. They're not used to getting doubleheaders. Got to be a rare situation when either the Giants and Jets are out of town or not playing, and that's the case next Sunday. First and 10, Bruner hands to Wolfo. Wolfo outside to the 30-yard line. What do you think of Butch so far?
I think he's doing a good job. You know, he's caught the ball some. He's run. Well, he looks like he has good quickness and explosion. The thing that he says that he really has to work on is his blocking, that he didn't do much of that in college.
Notice we haven't seen any of Joe Morris since that play in the first half where he and Bruner collided and they lost the ball deep.
Ray Perkins probably said Joe Morris needs one more week of practice.
At least. But he's going to be a good little player. 2nd and 5. Bruner brought into heavy traffic that time, intended for Johnny Perkins. He only had 3 people around him. Bruner, of course, is just in his 3rd year, started 1 game as a rookie, and came on last year when Phil Simms was hurt, did a great job leading the Giants into the playoffs. Of course, they beat the Eagles for their first playoff victory since 1957. And today, Giants trying to keep a string intact against the Falcons of never having lost to them at Giant Stadium. 3rd down, 5 from the 30. Just under 5 minutes left to play. Bruner, who's been relatively untouched most of the afternoon, hit by Mike Zealy, number 63, the nose tackle.
Let's see if we can watch it. It's a man over the center. He's in a stunt. He starts to the right. The end comes off to the left. They go to pass him off, and he gets too much penetration, and he was right there on Scott Bruner for the first sack of the day by a Giant quarterback.
Dave Jennings in to do the punting. White Shoes Johnson is back deep. Another boomer. This one fielded at the 23, 25, 30, 35-yard line. You know, he got his nickname wearing the white shoes, and now you can't tell, right? Because everybody wears white shoes. Except the guy in San Francisco, Leopold, right? He wears the black shoes.
Bobby Leopold said that Billy Johnson started, you know, he had a gimmick by calling himself White Shoes. Now everyone's wearing white shoes, so he's wearing black shoes, and he calls himself Bobby Black Shoes Leopold.
Everybody's got to have a gimmick.
You got to have one. But it helps if you're a good player.
It does.
Gimmicks help if you're good, and if you're not very good, they don't pay any attention to your gimmicks.
54 on that kick by Jennings, and a first down for the Falcons at their 35, and the clock is becoming a factor now with Atlanta trailing by 1 point. Bartkowski, good protection, long bomb intended for Jenkins, and Jenkins had a shot at it, couldn't hold it. Mike Dennis, number 46, was back there, and that went off the top of either Jenkins or Dennis' helmet.
I'll tell you, they are testing out Mike Dennis. You know, Bartkowski wants it. He wants to get the big one on one play. It looks like Jenkins is just starting to go by him. The ball's here. He had good position. It looks like it hit Jenkins on the shoulder pad.
I thought it hit him in the head. Hit him on top of the helmet.
Well, it's better to say shoulder pads. You know, it's embarrassing to get hit in the head in anything. If you say shoulder pads, that's a football term. You know, he hit him in the shoulder. Well, we're going to look at it one more time to prove me wrong.
Let's see him get hit on the shoulder pads, John.
See, right there in the shoulder pads.
That's high shoulders.
He blinked his eyes as he got hit in the shoulder pads. No, that was in the head.
2nd and 10. Andrews out to the 37-yard line. 16 carries for 63 yards for William Andrews, and it's a good day for oxygen if you happen to be down on the artificial turf where the temperature is around 100 or a little beyond. Officially, at game time, it was 85 and rising on this late summer day.
It was 85 up in the air, but it's a lot warmer down there. You know, the one thing I think Atlanta has to do is start getting some first downs. You know, instead of maybe those deep ones right now all on one play, just pick it up, 10, 12, 15, you know, those types of shots.
They got a 3rd and 8 right now at their 37-yard line with 3.5 minutes left to play in the game. Open over the middle for the first down is Alfred Jackson, who took it on the 50 and carried it to the Giant 47. And keep in mind, a field goal is all the Falcons need at this point.
Let's watch Jackson here. He's coming from the left side, and he's just going to run an in move. He runs up. It's a zone defense. He comes under control in there. Bartkowski hits him right in the seam. I think those types of passes are the things that they have to get going right now.
Jackson has caught 5 passes for 63 yards. Atlanta 1st and 10 at the Giant 47-yard line. Bartkowski really drilled that one. He hit Alfred Jenkins, and that pass was no more than 6 or 7 yards off the ground and a real bullet from about 30 yards away.
And as we said earlier, there's no one that can throw this pass as well as Steve Bartkowski. You know, he's big, he's strong-armed. Some people say he's not quick enough. But when you throw the ball and you zip it like that, put the mustard on it like that, you don't have to be quick. You don't have to run. That's a throw.
And it's obvious, once again, the Falcons are working on Mike Dennis, who's filling in for the injured Terry Jackson at the right cornerback position. First down. Atlanta has now moved to the Giant 28-yard line. Just over 2 minutes left. This will be the 2-minute warning after this play. Riggs carries it to the 27. But they are already within long field goal range of Luckhurst. And there's a man who could make the difference in this game. Mick Luckhurst, the Atlanta Falcons place kicker. Timeout. 2-minute warning going to both benches with the Giants leading by 1.
At Ford Motor Company, quality is job one. This is one of 800 employee involvement groups formed by Ford and the UAW.
You're concerned with getting that piston in the engine.
Together, this employee involvement group is working on the engine of the future.
What the rings are doing now is setting right on a piece of carbide steel.
Solutions before they become problems. Another reason the quality of our cars has improved an average 48% since 1980.
At Ford, quality is job one.
Here's 2 good friends tonight.
Haven't we been down there long enough?
I know how to get them up.
Must say something more.
What are you doing? Fishing.
So tonight, let it be low and brown.
When you want a taste of a truly great American beer, tonight, let it be low and brown.
Why were you guys down there so long?
Just waiting for a good reason to come up.
Let it be low and brown.
First final score of the new NFL season, Cincinnati beating the Houston Oilers 27-6 and establishing themselves firmly in the NFC Central. Be interesting if this does get down to Luckhurst. That extra point he missed earlier was blocked on him. Was the first of his career. He had hit 52 straight, 51 last year as a rookie, and the one after the first touchdown. So it'll be interesting to see if he gets an opportunity to pull it out. Second down. Call it 10 for the first down. Falcons at the Giant 28. Junior Miller at the 20. And Miller is down to the 15-yard line. That should be another first down for the Falcons. Well, what do you do here, John? Do you just run out the clock and get it down as far as you can?
I think the Falcons want to do 2 things. Of course, the obvious is we see Junior Miller here just run a short out. Now, when you get the ball to him out there on second down, he can run over and through people and get you first down. So that's one thing that you want to score, of course. But the other is you want to run as much time off the clock as you can so that when the other team gets the ball back, they don't have time to do anything with it.
Clock is moving with 1:20 left to play in the game. First down, Falcons at the 16. Riggs inside the 15 to the 13-yard line.
I would think that the Giants should be taking a timeout here because whatever's going to happen will happen, but they want time. Someone took timeout.
Giants did, and that is the first timeout taken by either side here in the second half. The Falcons have all 3 of their timeouts left. Update on some other scores around the NFL. This is not final yet, but the Lions are in front of Chicago 17-7. Minnesota leading Tampa Bay in the 4th period by a touchdown. It's first regular season game in the new Minnesota Stadium. Buffalo on top of Kansas City in period number 4. And our score 14-13. The Giants by 1. There's the timeout situation. The ball right now is, I'll call it the 14-yard line. At this point, it would be a 31-yard field goal attempt. Here's the big difference in the game,
That's
John.
the difference. Now watch from the right-hand side there. We saw number 56, Lawrence Taylor, come in and block the extra point. And that's why we're now in a 14-13 ball game. And there's Lawrence Taylor. He may have to end up blocking another kick if the Giants are going to win this game. The next kick, of course, may be a field goal attempt.
It looks very much like it's going to get down to a last kick situation. Looking at some of Lucker's figures, last year as a rookie, he did right well. First-year kicker, 21 out of 33. And will need more than a chip shot, really. Bartkowski on this drive is 3 out of 4 throwing the football for 47 yards. Of course, he'd like to just get it in the end zone, not have to rely on the field goal. Second down, 7 from the 14-yard line. Andrews stopped behind the line of scrimmage, just would not be denied, and took it to the 13-yard line. Looked like a 3-yard loss. He turned it into a gain of a yard or 2.
William Andrews, of course, that wasn't William Andrews there, was it? Yes, it was William Andrews, but he doesn't lose yardage. You know, I mean, his legs are so powerful, and he just keeps driving. He's not going to get stopped on the line of scrimmage. Now, that's good Giant defense. They take another timeout here. 1:06 left.
Ball is spotted right now, the 13-yard line. So what we're looking at is a 30-yard field goal attempt for Luckhurst.
Right, and the decision now on the sideline there.
Well, look at this.
Lawrence Taylor, we were talking about, you know, they may need him for that field goal block again if they stop the Falcons on this play. Now on the other sideline, what Lehman Bennett and Steve Bartkowski was talking about is whether to throw the ball or not. One, it's going to be easier to score if you throw it, but you don't run any time off the clock. So if they run it, then they'll probably have to have that man Luckhurst kick it.
If the Giants wind up losing this, I think they could look back on their own turnovers is the big difference. Bartkowski getting the word from his head coach, Lehman Bennett, on the sidelines. Lehman in his 6th year in the NFL. And there is Mick Luckhurst, young Englishman.
He's not thinking about getting married right now.
Oh.
I'll tell you, it's a tough kick. It's on the left hash mark, and he's a left-footed kicker. He has to draw the ball in a little. Maybe they'll try and run the ball and get it in the middle of the field for him. Let's see.
All right, 3rd down, 7. Falcons at the Giant 13-yard line. Giants down to their last timeout. One running back. They give it to Andrews, who carries it in a couple of more yards to the 11. So now they're looking at a 28-yard field goal attempt. Again, the Giants call time. That's their last timeout with 1:01 left. There's the figures on Luckhurst last year. And I can tell you that between 20 and 30 yards, he was perfect last year. Luckhurst was 7 out of 7 from between the 20 and 30. So here is Superman, Lawrence Taylor, coming back for the Giants. They need to block this thing to save this game.
The Falcons had better get that man blocked. I'm surprised, Frank, that they didn't run into the middle or to the right side to put the ball in the middle of the field if you're going to run it. Look at the huddle over here on the right. The kicker's all there all by himself. A lot of time to think about it.
Giants will get the football back, but with only a minute to play and with no timeouts, regardless of what happens here.
Now, you talk about a lonely feeling. How about Mick Luckhurst right now? Everyone was huddling over the side. He's standing there all by himself, clapping his hands. The whole stadium is standing. This is a pressure kick.
29 yards. Borowski will spot it on the 19. It is good. Luckhurst drills it through with 58 seconds left to play in the game. And the Falcons have recaptured the lead 16-14. So now look at the Giants' predicament. Out of timeouts. And Ray Perkins needs to have a rabbit up his sleeve here. I imagine they paid a lot of attention to Taylor.
Watch 56 Taylor. See, he's trying to take that inside move again. And the Atlanta Falcons are just a solid line in there. They don't let that penetration get back to their kicker.
So Taylor's reaction, pounding the artificial turf in his frustration. Atlanta drive took them 9 plays, started on their own 35-yard line and culminating in the 29-yard field goal by Luckhurst.
And, of course, the big thing you think about now are those Giants turnovers that were turned into Atlanta scores, and because the Giants really did move the ball well. And
they did.
Of course, you still have to credit that Atlanta defense because they are the swarming team that causes those types of things. But we still have 58 seconds there to watch.
Well, twice the Giants down inside the 10. Once they fumbled it away on an exchange between the center and Brunner, and the second time, of course, Perry fumbles, and Glazebrook picks it up and goes 91. Leon Bright is the deep man. They need a return here. At the 1, 10, 15. And he will be stopped short of the 20-yard line. No timeouts left for the Giants, and 51 seconds on the clock. The executive producer of the NFL on CBS, Terry O'Neill, our senior producer, Chuck Milton, our producer here at the Giants Stadium today, Bob Stenner, and our director, Sandy Grossman. Been a lot of fun working with you, John. You know, we started this whole thing together about 3 years ago, remember?
I know we did. My first game I did with you, Frank, and I appreciate for putting up with me, and thank you for everything. And at quarterback in the shotgun is Scott Bruner.
Giants from their own 17-yard line. Bruner for the sidelines, and very lucky not to get that picked off.
Again, I think what the Giants have to think of here is not trying to get it all in one play, but just like Atlanta did that last time, there's only 44 seconds, but they have to think of first downs, but those first downs have to be directed towards the sidelines because they have no timeouts. Atlanta has 3, but of course they aren't going to use them.
Frustration for Scott Bruner, elation for Mick Luckhurst. Accepting congratulations. At this point, Falcons have to feel pretty good about it. Second down, 10. Bruner, the best game of his career statistically, hitting Bright at the 25, and Bright is up to the 30 for the first down. But the clock continues to move. No timeouts left. That gives Bruner 25 out of 38 and puts him over 300 yards passing for the afternoon. Over the middle. Was it caught? Did they roll interception or trap? It was Kuykendall, and they're ruling that it was incomplete, that he trapped the ball. And the Giants will get another shot at it. Fulton Kuykendall. Oh, the days he used to call him Captain Crazy on the specialty teams.
Captain Crazy, I love it. Number 54, linebacker, Captain Crazy. What a nickname that is. Look at them. They're pulling guys off there.
It'll be 2nd and 10 for the Giants at their 31-yard line. 17 seconds left to play in the game. And the Falcons leading by 2 as the result of the 29-yard field goal by Mick Luckhurst.
There's that old thing where they have the 3 wide receivers all over here to the same side.
This is what the Falcons call the Big Ben play. All the wide receivers to one side, and he just throws up a prayer and hope they can tip it around. But he's got to throw it inbounds.
He has to throw it inbounds. I was surprised at that one that Kuykendall almost intercepted because Bruner had to stop the clock, and he threw it in the middle. You never do that. I wonder if those 2 guys are watching this game.
I think they got something else on their minds right now, John, don't you? About 90,000. I think that's what first prize is worth at the U.S. Open. That'll be upcoming right after the conclusion of our game. Jimmy Connors and Yvonne Lendl and your old sidekick, Pax Summerall. Tony Trabert Company will be on hand. 3rd and 10. A lot of the Giant faithful have deserted, heading for the exits. Giants will get Green Bay next. That'll be a Monday night game next week. This has got to be a heartbreaker, though, if they don't pull it out. Penalty marker down. And the pass is intercepted far downfield as Kenny Johnson picks it off for the Atlanta Falcons. And if the penalty is against the Giants, that's it. Clock is run down to 0. The penalty is holding against Atlanta. It's declined. The football game is ended. And the Atlanta Falcons coming from behind in the second half and taking advantage of turnovers by the New York Giants. Pull this one out, 16-14. That'll be a very, very frustrating day for the Giants and for Scott Brunner because they really did get the offense cranked up in that third quarter.
Well, Brunner had a great game. He threw for over 300 yards. He did everything that he had to do, and then, as you said, it boiled down to turnovers, and then even more important, after the turnovers, Atlanta made 2 scores at him. So that's the story. There's Lehman Bennett. He's happy. Someone has his family outside.
Atlanta has beaten the Giants for the first time here at Giant Stadium and will go home a happy bunch on this opening day of the 1982 NFL season. This is Frank Lieber for John Madden saying so long from Giant Stadium. The final score, once again, 16-14 Falcons. Stay tuned to CBS Sports for the men's final of the U.S. Open Tennis Championship as Jimmy Connors battles Yvonne Lindell. You've been watching CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League.